On Popcorn at the Bar Radio, here with Ace Hood. As you can see, he's already at the bar because he got some Ciroc. But I got to say, we just see Ace Hood, a real genuine dude. I salute you. I salute you. Like, just your humble and stuff. I appreciate every artist like you. That's it, at the bar.
Yeah, at the Bar Radio.
You already know this the king of Philly, man. At the Bar Radio, man. You already know. Right.
Where to get lit at? You on your own. Just no white with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. It's a different day, no, it's same story, nigga. I've been winning, retire like I'm Robert Horry, nigga. They just thought they knew me, but I'm here to make my story bigger. Keep that Laker 40 with me, always know I had that clipper. She act getting on my boat, bet I'm gon' skip her. If they start getting out of line, I bet I'm gon' get them. Pack a bag and book a flight, so they know I'm always trippin'. I've been Scotty with the right, so they always know I'm pimpin'. Well, I always say I got haters, cause they just know I'm living. Word to my bro that came on, they just know I got a vision. The stove gotta stay on, so no product missing. Government want us to stay home, go broke for politicians. Had to carry that weight, never dealt with the opposition. My homie tryna beat the case when he had no pot to piss. I'm tryna cop a bird, but he caught up with all them pigeons. And I can never chase when ain't no love when you got them riches. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just no white with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just no white with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. Yeah. Alright.
Hey, Tuna, you made this?
I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just no white with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just no white with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. It's a different day, no, it's same story, nigga. I've been winning, retire like I'm Robert Horry, nigga. They just thought they knew me, but I'm here to make my story bigger. Keep that Laker 40 with me, always know I had that clipper. She act getting on my boat, bet I'm gon' skip her. If they start getting out of line, I bet I'm gon' get them. Pack a bag and book a flight, so they know I'm always trippin'. I've been Scotty with the right, so they always know I'm pimpin'. Well, I always say I got haters, cause they just know I'm living. Word to my bro that came on, they just know I got a vision. The stove gotta stay on, so no product missing. Government want us to stay home, go broke for politicians. Had to carry that weight, never dealt with the opposition. My homie tryna beat the case when he had no pot to piss. I'm tryna cop a bird, but he caught up with all them pigeons. And I can never chase when ain't no love when you got them riches. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just no white with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just no white with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back.
Oh, come on, man. I got family, I got kids. Everything's upstairs in the closet, bro. Just take it.
Money. Money. I love that money.
Lucas.
Money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. You don't really wanna play. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know want play. You don't know what to say. It's money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Money, 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 make you shut your mouth. Don't never ever talk about it if you never had the clout. You don't know what to say, stay up out of my way. Cause money, 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 make them shut them off. Keep playing with this Goonies, boy, I'm gonna have to make the call. Stay in bounds on your pivot, boy, if you gon' ball. Cause a lot of niggas be fake, and you really can't play. Cause we done got it out the mud, nigga, what you talking about? Screaming, oh my God, money got me pride. They living a lie, look into my eyes, they might seem surprised, this is homicide. We just multiply, we been on the rise. If we got some wings, fuck it, we gon' have to fly. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Day in my life, take me a different route. And use all my case, niggas on my face. You can get erased, what you talking about? Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really want play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. You never crossing these borders. I'm whipping it up, Gordon Ramsay. I swear that I'm cooking these orders. You talk about me, you better just hope that you can just really afford it. I'm ballin', I'm ballin', I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm feeling like Robert Tahori. Nigga, I'm scoring. I count in the morning. They talk about me, then I gotta ignore it. My bitches be foreign, so independent, my money be corporate. These rappers is boring. You hate me and I'm always gonna adore it. I'm smoking that soaring. She always go ahead and let me explore it. I call her my Dora. You can go and talk about me, I ain't flawless. I go put my all in. If a nigga talk about me, then I'm gone in. You know that I'm gone in. Jumpin', take trips, Pompeii. All day, always keep 3 stacks like Andre. I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it, man. And you can never, ever, ever get rid of that. So watch what you say, and watch how you do. If you playing the game, then you play by the rules. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really want play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about.
Yo. Money, money, money is what I'm talking about. What's going on, people? We back.
Yes, sir.
And you know we got something to talk about this week.
I mean, real talk.
Yeah, real talk.
We get stuff to talk about every
We-
week. It's always something.
It's always something crazy. Yeah.
This situation here.
But before we dive into that situation, we waiting on Super Dave to come. He's on his way. He apologized. Traffic was a little heavy.
You know, I understand.
So we are going to have a very interesting conversation. It is WrestleMania Sunday, so we have WrestleMania on in the background.
2-day event.
Yeah, we just if y'all don't know, but I wasn't watching WrestleMania. Bianca Belair, shout out to her. She has won her second WrestleMania.
And tell me, who did she Who was she against?
Becky Lynch.
Okay, cute.
So, it was.
That's a fine motherfucker right there.
He's having a moment.
I just found out that she married, was kind of crushed.
Yeah, she's married to Montez Ford of the Street
I
Profits.
had a shot until he told me.
You did?
Yeah.
You had a shot?
I had a shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in my mind. Let me be.
What?
Let me be. Shit, I mean,
So-
Bless your
I
heart.
had a shot.
So, but it was actually, you know, she had a probably one of the best matches.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I said. I was blown by what happened to her in SummerSlam, but sometimes you got to wait for the long-term storytelling. So they actually told the story of her not getting the title right back, working her way back up,
Yeah.
and
It's a
even for
comeback story.
comeback story.
Yeah.
So for a bigger pop, and I do appreciate that for especially her being a black female.
And
Um,
honestly, they've been criticized on the way that some of their black stars have been
So-
treated. So
So and so now we go from a positive to a very negative.
oh.
So, one of the we always love for pay-per-views is watching the New Day. They were supposed to have a match, especially with Big E, who had actually got his neck broken by the carelessness of Ridge Holland, who should never ever wrestle ever again. But it was supposed to be New Day versus Ridge Holland and Sheamus, and
Who I don't like.
they wound up cutting that match from yesterday.
Yeah.
And the New Day has even hosted WrestleMania, but the New Days have always had some of the greatest outfits during WrestleMania. Like
Yeah.
they came out as Power Rangers, they came out as Dragon Ball Z characters.
They're
Like their stuff.
definitely showmen.
Yes,
They
yes.
are.
So-
I never knew that.
He's over here giggling.
That's crazy.
And
So-
yes, it's 3 African American males that have they're showmen. They
So-
bring a show every time
Yes.
they
They-
perform.
They killing merchandise. They killing so much stuff. The funny thing was New Day first started, I thought it was going to.
It looked
sucked.
corny.
It looked corny.
Yeah.
And then Xavier Woods was like, no, this is what we're going to do. And he went to Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon said, well, if it doesn't work, you're fired. And he said, okay. And he actually got it to work. And, Kofi Kingston secretly is one of the most decorated champions
Yeah.
in WWE. It's like he's held almost every belt.
Yeah.
But they don't talk about that enough.
No, they don't.
And he's a phenomenal wrestler,
I
by the
feel
way.
like they do him dirty.
They do. They do. So,
Like, oh,
because he's very entertaining. And here's the funny thing: when New Day started, I hated them.
I did.
But when you started to actually watch their matches, you was like, these motherfuckers can wrestle,
Right.
and they were actually good.
Right.
Shout out to them, and I'm sorry that their match got cut because I know it was going to be entertaining
Right.
no matter what. But they won't bring out the best. So
Even if it was like just 2 of them.
yes. And I was so happy when Big E did become champion because he's another one that deserved it. Interesting. Here's really something really crazy though. Xavier Woods has never really held a singles title in the WWE.
I feel like he's the brains of it.
He is the brains of it. He is. You got any sports for CP3 as I did my wrestling?
I know he does.
The Capitals be playing at 7 o'clock. I'm supposed to take notes, but I got caught up in pre-show dinner. I forgot to take my notes.
But,
Pre-show dinner?
Hey man, it was a long week. But,
he crushed his food. He was focused on the food. That's what he's saying.
Yes, I was. The Capitals are still 4th place in the Metro, still 8th spot in the East. They still have a chance to move up, but pretty much look like this is the way it's going to fall out. The playoffs start at the end of the month. Yeah, end of this month when the draft is also. Baseball season starts on the 7th. Patrick Corbin will be taking the mound against the Mets for opening day. Strasburg is still working his way back slowly. Yeah, Minnesota at 7 o'clock. Because there was a mix-up. I thought they had on my app, they didn't have a game last night, but I checked another app and they said they had them playing Nashville last night. And I didn't see that game, so I don't know what happened on that one. But yeah, it was Minnesota. I totally forgot I was talking to my coworker. But yeah, baseball season is about to start, so we'll have that coverage next week on this podcast. But tune in tomorrow night for season 7 premiere. We took the last 2 weeks off for the end of season 6, starting season 7. We'll cover the Capitals, talk a little baseball with the season starting on the 7th, which is Wednesday. And talking NCAA, Robbie, he showed his bracket, and I believe he predicted that this matchup or whatever. I didn't get into the March Madness thing this year.
So he predicted the Final Four or the finals?
I gotta look at the graphic that he sent me. I think he predicted this would be the matchup. So he tagged me in on my page on my Facebook.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, so they'll be covering that, and the Wizards. I can't even say fight for the playoffs. They're pretty much out of it with only a few games left in the season. But
if you're a Wizards fan, you're much like a Knicks fan. You just get used to the disappointment every year.
Well, I saw Porzingis put up 35 in the game, so he came back from injury. So if that trade can work out next year for him, excuse me, coming to the league coming to the year healthy, and adding that offensive firepower to the lineup and whatever moves they make in the offseason. I know they were talking about giving Bill another extension, supermax contract, which is like $220 million or some shit. So it's crazy with the NBA numbers. Dudes riding the bench making like $15 million a year. Like that's crazy. But yeah, tune in tomorrow night. I got to prep for the show. Got a lot to cover. Last 2 weeks off. Do a quick recap of the Caps games. I'm gonna go deep into it and look at the results from this game tonight. Excuse me, the week that was, and the upcoming week. Like I said, the regular season's wrapping up, so playoff coverage is coming. Still a few question marks with the team. You know, goalie-wise, Double B's been playing well, but he's had a couple bad games lately. So is he gonna get locked in for the playoff push? It's going to be interesting to see what the Capitals do this year.
Right.
I like the squad. They got a good veteran mix. You know, Ovi's been doing his thing, getting healthy at the right time, and hopefully get these lines set, get them ready to go into the playoffs. Because I would love to go to another championship parade. You know, that shit was great.
That was fun.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I was watching the Stanley Cup footage and the Nationals footage. I was just in championship mode. I was just tired from work, so. We were going through my DVR, just watching. I remember I didn't make it to the national. Probably got a chance to go, but I didn't. But yeah, being down there for the Stanley Cup, that was.
I went to that, and then I went to a Wizards game later. So I was like in the city the whole day, rocking red and blue.
I got the hell out of there. I got down there. I was there for the parade. Got some good footage. Robbie stayed for the celebration down at the mall. I hopped my butt back on the metro, went home, and edited footage. I was like, I'm going home.
You hopped on the metro. Man, let me tell you something. Metro was outrageous that day.
Were you armed? Were you armed when you got on Metro?
Good question.
No, I was not.
You sure?
I was armed with my.
You do know that it's not appropriate to be armed on the Metro ever.
Safety first.
Yes, safety first, meaning you do not bring your.
My safety is my first concern.
Yeah.
Your safety. What about everyone else?
What about everybody else?
As long as they stay the hell away from me, they'll be safe.
We do not condone.
No one does.
You didn't mention. Well, you know the DC United lost yesterday, but I want to give a shout out to UNC for
kicking Duke's ass. I hate you, Duke.
I feel like
Coach K, I'm glad you lost.
So
It warms my heart.
right. So nobody likes Duke. So kudos to, and that's a big rivalry. So that's good.
Yeah,
That was the game.
Ironically, his first loss and last loss came to UNC.
There you go. So I'm sure he hates it.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I feel like Tupac in this situation. Fuck Duke. Fuck Duke as a school. And the funny thing is, I actually went to Duke to when I did my foundation. It's actually a really cool school, but I always like North Carolina better. You know.
There you go.
Like fuck them as a record company and staff.
I just wanted to say that about
um,
Duke and give a shout out to DC United. I feel like
you don't get talked about enough.
right.
No, we cover them. I just don't.
Y'all
talk about
do,
it.
yeah.
We cover them. I just don't.
But when you come here, you be forgetting about certain things. You
Um,
biased.
I've tried to watch soccer. I've tried.
You should go.
Um,
You can't. You should go. I'm serious. We should go.
we might have to make that happen.
Audi Field is a beautiful stadium. Like, come on, man, we should go.
Yeah, I haven't been to the States in this league.
I'm willing to try as long as I got alcohol.
They
Um,
have lots of it there.
oh well, then let's go.
You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. I tried
Um,
to watch the soccer games.
Oh my God. It's
So-
bad.
We have a beautiful bottle. We got Real McCoy rum. It was given to me by my friend.
You see the color? As you bring your cup over here.
Yeah.
You see the color?
How you asking color blind nigga do we see color?
But I'm just saying, you see
So-
that it's what color? Is it dark or
It's
light?
clear.
Okay, thank you. So keep
So-
that in mind.
But yeah, I'm gonna run for
So, my friend FEMA gave me that bottle. So it's been aged 3 years. I'm interested to see. I've never had it, and I want to taste it. So I think it's gonna be good. Shout out to her. We went to a Cuban rum bar
Mm.
the other day, and
Where was it?
where the hell it was?
Were you drunk on the way there?
Almost. It was in Northwest.
Okay,
I got the name, but I can't really pronounce the shit.
it's okay. We'll talk about it later.
But she was pointing out the different. I did a flight, so I got to do shout out to Appleton.
Remember, I told you that.
But
It's amazing.
and so I did it, but she was just showing me the different the different rums and the quality and the taste.
Right.
Also, we went to a place called Mercy Me,
Mhm.
which was literally around the corner.
Okay.
And she got me a shot of 15-year age rum,
Okay.
smooth as a mug.
Now, what was it? Spiced rum or what kind of rum?
I think it was just regular. It wasn't spice, but it was smooth.
Mhm.
It was in DuPont Circle. Thank you.
What's woo? You okay?
That was going on.
You, that's why I asked. Do we? Is this how we gonna start the show? Is this how we gonna start? You haven't even had any of the rum yet.
I'm checking it out. Reading
I don't know if you're allowed to have any.
Read the label before what I start drinking.
So we got. So basically, we had a good time, and we had it was fun. And she reminds me a little bit of you, Lady Antoinette.
That means she's amazing.
She knows finer qualities of alcohol and stuff like that.
You mean she can cut you?
I feel the shade, okay? Because he was giving me a compliment.
So-
And her. Okay.
So basically, she likes the finer alcohol, and she teaches me about those things. So I mean, it's a lot of things that I used to,
You have to introduce me to.
Definitely.
That's what I said. He has to introduce me.
Because it's a big difference of quality versus quantity. Because if you have good quality, you don't really need too many shots.
Thank you.
And I've had stuff like Glenvec and stuff like that. You don't really need a lot of shots.
Can you
and stuff.
speak up? Because I feel like you already acting drunk.
Can I open thine bottle now?
Are you even ready? Because
I'm ready. I am ready to open thine bottle.
Well, let's
He got his hand open.
let's play some music real quick. I'm gonna go to a music break.
Honestly,
I'm gonna
if
get
you
Super
pay
Dave
attention,
up,
we
and we go
open
do
it off camera.
Yeah.
We tend to open it off camera.
Are you ready?
Remember when I popped the bubbly like a few times? It was off camera.
Has work been that stressful to you?
Pop bottles on the show too.
Oh, but wait. I want to say something.
What that is?
So, on Friday, I told you guys I was going to the stadium, and I'll tell you guys about that off camera. Because, wow. But it was, I didn't realize until like my day progressed. I was going to the stadium on Sean Taylor's birthday.
Oh.
And I also got an email from the Redskins organization earlier that day.
Man.
I'm sorry, Commanders. It was the Redskins when he was playing. So excuse me, because like all his stuff because they moved his locker from the locker room to the club level.
Oh.
And so like his lockers left, it was kept exactly the way he left it. And so that's why I have that image in my head. But what the Commanders organization has done, they've allowed fans to rock their like 21 gear and stuff like that, take pictures and submit it so that you could be a part of this commemorative, like this memorial type of thing that they're going to do virtually. So that's something
dope. That's dope.
I want to put out there. But yeah, I was there on his birthday. That was surreal. Nobody else was really there, but I mean, it was good for me, I feel. And then also, yesterday, I went to the Maxwell concert.
Oh, look at you!
That was.
I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So you in on this too?
I'm not.
So.
Maxwell, that's the first thing that comes to your mind. Right?
When you hear Maxwell, you think how many people got pregnant after this concert?
A lot. You can tell by the
During the
crowd.
During the concert.
Yeah, you can tell. There was one girl that was pregnant already, and she had on like these stripper shoes, and I was like, oh.
Oh yeah, she about to get pregnant again.
Right, on top of the pregnancy.
Double pregnant.
Right, how do you do this?
Shake them up, shake them up, shake them.
Can't get pregnant twice.
But Joe and Anthony Hamilton actually opened up for him, and
I always wanted to see. Not to say no disrespect to Joe, but I always want to see Anthony Hamilton live. God,
I've seen all of them live before.
Did Joe sing the 50 Cent song? No, I'm sorry.
So let me be real with you. Shout out to my driver who got lost and caused me to miss what appeared to be a very short Joe set. You know what?
I'm just saying.
But when you're singing live, you're performing, you don't have to, like his set couldn't have been longer than 30 minutes.
So did you get a refund?
I can name 3 Joe songs.
I don't care. I can't name one.
All I know is he got a big ass head.
That's
Y'all are so mean.
I'm just
Is
saying.
one of his songs called Headbutt?
No.
Y'all are so mean. Y'all leave Joe alone. But regardless, I have seen him perform, but he has been dealing with some struggles, and I don't want to be messy, so I'm gonna tell y'all off camera. But there apparently has been some struggles during this tour.
This tour? Oh.
Yeah. This tour. He's headlining. I mean, well, Maxwell's the headliner.
Yeah.
And then he's opening for Maxwell. So he's first, then Anthony, then Maxwell.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Why do you think he should be second?
Who?
Does Joe think he needs to be
Oh
second?
no, Joe has some personal internal demons
Okay,
and struggles that he has to deal with.
Okay, that's good. We can. Well. In that note, I won't be messy like I'm usually him. I'll just say we will have our thoughts and prayers for him. Yes. Normally I crack an inappropriate joke or something like that.
See, this is what I'm talking about right here.
And
trying to find a hat to fit.
And then here he goes.
Try something to sleep at night on his huge pillow.
So we'll just but it's time for a video break.
Right.
We're gonna play a new video, Big O. Super Dave is in the building. Let me get him set up, but we're gonna, of course we'll be talking everything underneath the sun, but of course we have to talk about the infamous slap.
Y'all didn't talk about it yet? Okay.
So we wanted to wait to get everybody here because it's a good conversation.
Right. It was Marvin Gaye's birthday yesterday.
You already know what it is, nigga. I miss smoke this shit. Okay, ayy, don't violate. Yeah, you know I taught you better. You know if we put our minds together, we can get this cheddar. We gon' get whatever you desire. I ain't worried about these little pipsqueaks, they know I'm higher. I'm feeling like a giant. Shawty, she think I'm flyer. She digging my attire. Shawty, she look like Maya. She say her body's like, whoa, well shit, I'm trying to try it. After we finish in that back room smoking exotic, I ain't playing no games, I ain't got time to waste. If you down with the team, then let me hear you scream. Big paper chasers, we some bosses, you know what I mean. We like the Wu-Tang Clan, we all about the cream. You know I'm one of the best, you know my music mean. And when I make it, I'm a ball like I'm Mr. Clean. This stick here by my side and just peep the scene. I promise you gon' get higher than you been in your dreams. When we over here, we be smoking good. When we over here, we be smoking good. Hey, don't violate. Yeah, you know I taught you better. Hey, don't violate. Yeah, you know I taught you better. Hey, don't violate. Over here, know I taught you better. Hey, don't violate. Yeah, you know I taught you better. Yeah, you know we smoking good. Yeah, just like we should. We can roll it up in the sheets and funnel roll wood. But don't you get it twisted. It's all about production. If you don't think we bout that money, then you fucking lunching. So don't violate. I can have you onto something. My ambition is motivation. See, I know you love it. She get the change from you lames, then bring it to me. We take a trip to the bank while smoking this weed. J's fat as can be. Nigga, that's BPC. This album like a P. I'm about to feed the streets. This shit is gasoline. Michael Jack, Billie Jean. No, she is not my lover. I fuck with Mary Jane. I do it for my stoners. I had to do it, man. This shit a fucking vibe. Come fly up on my plane. The king of stoner music. It's time for my reign. Swear when you hear this shit, you gon' play it again. When we over here, we be smoking good. When we over here, we be smoking good.
Okay, we're back. That was a big O. CP3, you should really like that video because all he's doing is blazing in most of the video.
That's my dream, man.
He says the king of stoner music.
That's my dream.
Actually, I know Big O. He's actually a cool dude. Oh, shout out to DJ Grip and Sade. I'm waiting on my last official godchild.
Yes, yay, congrats.
Yeah,
So after this, I'm telling the world, don't come to me and be like,
Don't do that. Don't act like that.
don't be like, you got another god.
CP3 finds his child and then needs a godfather. You know what I'm saying? And then you might have a 21-year-old godchild.
I mean, if he was already, see, CP3's in the session because the kid is probably already 21. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so we find CP3, CP4.
You know, if you come around, your mama kept me from you. It's her fault. She never told
Yeah,
me.
she couldn't find you.
Hey, it's not
She
my
was
fault
looking
didn't
for
know my
a guy named.
if she loved me, she would know my
She
real
was looking for a guy named Feats.
name. If she loved me, she would have my real name.
So, let me show y'all who we got in the building.
Or you would have never mind.
We got the one, the only incomparable Super Dave in the building.
What's up? Glad to be here, man. It's always fun.
Super Dave, we love when you come through. Me and Super Dave are working on some stuff. We're help putting together to shoot a video for this artist he's working with.
Yeah, shout out to Melissa Nail. Dope vocalist. About to,
we're gonna
magic, man.
Yeah, she wants to come through. We're gonna have her come through for an interview too. And she said she's a ball of life and good energy. And then we got some stuff that we're gonna put together.
Good
And
stuff.
also, Super Dave has me and Super Dave are still working on some skits that we're gonna bring to y'all too. Super Dave has already done 2 skits
All right.
of his own that were really funny.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Aw.
So he's also did you do stand up comedy for a little bit? You tried it?
Yeah, I did one.
Okay.
So what
You
happened
did
was,
one.
yeah. So what happened was, like, I've been writing comedy for a long time. I did right before the pandemic hit. One of my homies, actually, my man Jay Son, who used to do
The Neighbors.
my part, yeah, the Neighbors podcast with me. He was doing an open mic, and he was like, "You gonna do comedy?" I'm like, "Okay."
He told you.
Yeah, he decided because he got tired of me talking about it, so he was like, "Get it." So I did it. It went pretty good. You know, it went actually really well.
Where did you do that?
It was his open mic was at a spot called the Nubian Human. It's in Southeast DC. So.
And some of they didn't I see a YouTube video you doing a commercial?
That was
yeah,
that was
Super
years
Bowl?
and years ago.
Yeah, it was
a Super Bowl
2012. Yeah.
Tell us about this Super Bowl commercial that you done.
So yeah,
we interviewing everything.
Right. Okay. So
He's like, I didn't come here for this.
Back in 2012, I did basically entered a contest with Pizza Hut to write a jingle when they was doing the $10 pizza thing when they started it. And the contest was to, film a commercial at the Super Bowl. And I was sitting at work, and they called me, and the lady was like, "This is Laura from Pizza Hut." And I was like, "I ain't order no." She was like, "Nah, you won. You won the contest. We're gonna fly you to LA." And yeah, they flew me. Well, she was like, "So we're gonna buy the tickets for you. We just need your social security number to put on the tickets." And I was like, "This is a scam. All my money."
Scam likely. Scam likely's calling.
I wish you on that though.
Yeah. Reluctantly, So, but yeah, it turned out to be real. They flew me to LA. It was fun. Yeah, met some nice people. Shot a commercial. That's about it.
That's cool.
The rest is history, as they say.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
So
Just wanted to say that.
Make that dramatic.
It's all right. It's good.
Some shit like that. Have a chick come over for a Super Bowl commercial like, "Is that you?" Yeah, like that's it.
Of course.
That's why I was
But
wondering
here's the
why,
thing,
like,
you see how he switched it up? You know, you had a good experience. He really wants to do something like that so he can impress a chick.
That's the only reason I did it.
Oh my God.
I
You saw how much ass I got?
Oh my God.
He's not playing.
I was juggling booty, girl.
He's not playing. He's dead serious.
That's terrible. I can't. You know what? We got two CP3s on here.
So
I've been compared to worse people. This is a good dude.
Thanks. I feel like he got an ally on here.
Yeah, you do. Because I feel like every time he come, even if he's not on the mic, he's sitting here,
Because he understands.
taking
You know,
nonsense.
somebody told us. Somebody was like, y'all kind of pick on CP3.
Thank you.
People tell me that all the time, but they also say he's crazy. So
I'm just
there's
saying.
that.
I'm saying the stuff that you guys want to say that you think is wrong to say. I'm gonna say it.
I think something's wrong.
Not you.
Okay.
I'm talking about the public that might say
I'm about to
something wrong.
say, who are you talking about?
You know me long enough, so you know I don't give a fuck. These people that don't know me, like, I'm gonna tell the real shit. You might not like the way it come across, but it's gonna be some real shit.
I'm gonna just go ahead and
But-
put this in here.
Oh Lord.
What's wrong, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Uber. Where? Where do you need an Uber to?
Yep.
Oh, I know.
I just
It's
shared the link, man, so
it
people
comes
can check
down
us
a little
out.
bit.
This is exciting, man. So yeah, what we talking about
Look at
first, man? I'm excited.
He
I
has
got my little shot. I'm loose now.
You feeling frisky now.
So I think we go like for real. I think we just go in with it now. I mean,
Alright.
it's the talk of the town. Everybody's been talking about it.
Who want to introduce? CP3, you want to introduce the situation?
You want me to start it off?
I mean, you can introduce it to.
Alright. Last week after we got off the air, the Oscars was going on. It was going to be a historic night for, minority, members of the Academy, including Will Smith, who was in the running to win his first Oscar. And before we could even get to that portion of the show, Chris Rock, who was the host for the show, made a joke.
No, he wasn't the host.
Oh, he was just.
He wasn't the host.
Oh, he wasn't the host.
He was presenting.
Oh, he was presenting. Okay. I don't watch it. I didn't see this shit. But made a joke about referencing, not even about Jada, referencing her bald head and G.I. Jane. And amidst all of this stuff, I'm not making excuses for Mr. Smith. I'm not condoning what he did. But I understand some of the logic at the time he was seeing of him getting up and assaulting a comedian.
Just say slapping.
No, we gotta call it. No, we gotta call it
because
what
you have
it
to be
is.
specific. The first response that was out was punch. So he slapped him. You have to be specific.
Well, either way, it's an assault.
I think it's more disrespectful, right? You slap a grown man in the face.
I mean, like I said, we're definitely going to get deeper into it. So I'm just
what
going
do you do after?
And yelled out, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. A couple of times on live. So in America, it was censored. That's why.
Yeah, they said they froze it and everything.
I thought it was a joke until Lady Antoinette sent she found the FBI Facebook investigator. She found the live feed with the unedited version from Singapore or Australia or somewhere. And next thing I know, I heard, and I was like, yeah, that's not a joke. And the tone of his voice lets you know that he's serious.
Yeah. Oh, he was very serious.
So
he was Philly serious.
So I'm just going to start it off.
He was West Philly serious.
I'm just going to start it off with 2 points because I have a lot of points on this. I'm going to start off with 2 points. That 4 days prior, Miss Jada Pinkett was on her IG page telling how proud she was of her bald head and how proud she was, to talk about the alopecia that she has. Which, in my opinion, is not a life-threatening disease. It definitely affects a woman and differently does a man because, hair, yada, yada, yada. I get it. But how can you talk about how proud you are 4 days prior and then somebody makes a joke and then you're super sensitive? And when has it been appropriate for you put hands on a comedian for making a joke?
Yeah.
They push the envelope. That's what they do. They're down to the point where they can't make jokes because folks, we talk about people getting offended and butthurt and their feelings get hurt because somebody said something. We came up, you say whatever you want, but as long as you put your hands on it, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to be my 2 starting points. Lady Antoinette.
Well, first I want to give a shout out to all of the Oscar winners. Yes, Will did win. And so did Questlove.
Yes.
So did the cast of primarily deaf movie. The movie, and then we also have the first Latina who's also a member of the LGBTQ community. She won an Oscar as well.
Oh, okay.
So shout out, it was a lot of firsts. Unfortunately, it was overshadowed by this situation. One thing I want to say is that I want to let it be known that I don't condone what Will did, but I also want to shed light on some issues on the Chris Rock side. First of all, Chris Rock apparently has been known to target this family. So for a lot of people who are like, oh, it's just a joke, why did he get so angry? A lot of people are saying that they support the fact that they understand it's bigger than just this one particular joke, which has caused Will to blow over, which also explains what was said. Him saying, keep my wife's name out your mouth, comes from Chris consistently talking about Jada. Honestly, I don't like Chris Rock. Why'd you look like that? I don't like Chris Rock. I don't think he's funny. That has nothing to do with this situation. But
Tambourine was actually funny though.
Huh?
Tambourine was funny.
I don't think anything he's done is funny.
Pootie Tang? You ain't like Pootie Tang?
I'm talking about what,
Everybody like
stand up or movie?
Any of it.
Wow.
I don't like him.
I used to not like Chris Rock until I got into politics. So he does a lot of political humor.
Correct.
And once I got into politics, I started appreciating his comedy more.
Right.
So it is an acquired taste.
Right. So with that said, Chris Rock, what I have noticed about him, which a lot of people are referencing back to the 2016 Oscars, In the 2016 Oscars, for those who don't know, a lot of A-list black celebrities um, boycotted the Oscars. There was not a lot of diversity. There were no African American nominees. Um, so because of this, because of the talk of people boycotting and them being racist, which let's be honest, their history doesn't look good.
Whitewashing.
They asked Chris to host. So it's like, oh, everybody's boycotting us. They're saying that we're racist. Hey, Chris, come on in. Can you host? Chris agreed. Then proceeded to bash Will and Jada for boycotting. There were a lot of people who boycotted, but he bashed Will and Jada for boycotting. And they were boycotting for a good cause. They were boycotting to support their community. And Chris bashed them for it. I don't like that. I feel like a lot of things that Chris does is counterproductive to our cause. So I don't like him. With that said, right before he made the joke about Jada, he spoke about another couple that was nearby.
Yeah.
2 white people.
Well, no, they were Spanish.
The 2 people he was speaking
I
of?
thought it was Penelope Cruz and Harvey.
No.
No. I thought it was.
He talked about another couple.
Yeah, both of them was up for an Oscar.
Right. Okay.
Oh, it was the dude who made the original Hellboy, something Detour or whatever the fuck his name is.
Right.
The name sounds like a foot disease.
So to support here's the thing, when people have these theories about Chris and Will and the relationship between them, things like this come up. So you spoke about another couple, okay, and it was very lighthearted. Oh, if she doesn't win, you can't win, right?
Yeah.
That was it. That's all he really said about them. Then he goes over and talks about Jada's bald head. Now, with that said, Jada has spoke openly about alopecia. She also said it's the source of a lot of self-esteem issues that she's had. So her saying that she's proud of her bald head, in my opinion, that's probably just her using her social media as some form of therapy to get herself together. Because she has made many remarks about the fact that is a source of her self-esteem issues, which is why for a long time she was wearing scarves and turbans and stuff on her head.
She used to rock a short haircut back in the old
She used to rock a short haircut, but she shaved it. See, she has alopecia areata. That is an autoimmune disease that attacks the hair follicles. Well, that's one of the side effects of this. So that is the issue that she has.
Yeah.
So she's not really. She still has issues. She's struggling with that. Now, Chris, I feel like some people feel like it's a tasteless joke. Tasteless jokes doesn't mean you get slapped on worldwide platform. That's not what that means. However, I do want to state that there are many comedians that have dealt with people that they've gone in on that have retaliated. That's the thing. After you come off that stage, sometimes there are people waiting for you. Sometimes people try to come up on the stage while you're still there. So just like a lot of people are like, oh, well, Will and Jada are in the limelight. This is what they asked for. Okay. But this is what they signed up for. But Chris signed up for it too. I don't condone Will's behavior. That is not if you felt like Chris needed to be checked, you don't check him there. Because just like I feel like Chris is counterproductive quite often with our cause, what Will did was counterproductive as well.
Definitely.
So I'm not team Chris, I'm not team Will. I think we just look a fool at the whole situation.
I can't consider Chris counterproductive. He just points out the bullshit in our community that folks don't want to talk about. And that hurts people's feelings because they don't want to talk about it. And that's why I like him, because he brings it to the forefront and people still don't want to talk about it.
But one of the things is like this though. It's the quote the great Chuck D, and then I'm gonna let Dave comment. But the quote the great Chuck D, it's freedom of speech. Just watch what you say.
Because people won't react. Regardless of whether you want to or not, if they get mad, they're gonna get mad.
My whole thing about stuff like this is like this. he can make the joke, but then you gotta be willing to pay the consequence. And
But at the same time, that consequence shouldn't be smacking them.
Well, we're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah.
But but how I look at stuff like this is like, if you make those remarks, like, and I love telling this story. So there is something when you several years ago, me and Renegade went to Atlanta, and we were all there. And a guy that didn't know me, we cool now. He didn't know me, started to joan on me, and he started to say stuff. Oh, you and the little boy in the room together, you fucking kids. And I was like, yo, that's my nephew. But I told him, go ahead and chill, because when I start on you, I'm not going to stop.
Right.
And I'm going to be really... There are people that joan, and there's people like me who just go for the juggler off the break. You may be like your breath stink, and I'll be like, well, you know what? When your mother was doing this, and this, you didn't really mind.
Right.
And they be like, well, damn, why'd you go there? Because that's just how I go.
Right.
So when the guy kept going, he did something so simple, and the minute he did it, me and Renegade knew. Because Renegade told him, he's like, yo, when my uncle starts on you, he's not going to stop. So I'm going to tell you, just go ahead, just chill.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy asked George. He was like, oh, let me get a piece of your steak. Let me get a piece of that meat. The minute he said it, Renegade head just dropped. You can see Renegade head drops like. Renegade head drops like. Renegade's like, he done fucked up.
Right, because first of all, who says that?
So, me, I never really look up. I'm still eating, so I'm just like, got you.
Right.
So, when we go later, went from a whole bunch of females. At the time, George was managing this group called Main Girl.
Wait, he was managing a group called what?
Main Girl.
Okay.
Nice little young female. We're in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at a pool table, and he still wants to join.
He's a main girl.
So he wants to join. We're at a pool table. And then I just look at him, and the first words out of my mouth is, well, raise your hand if you ask for another man's meat across the table this evening. And he's like, what? Huh? And I'm just like,
yeah.
Now, did you or did you not ask to have a piece of another man's meat from across the table night? Did you? Were those not your words? And he's just like, oh. And for the rest of the trip, I'm just like, he came to Renegade later. Renegade told me this like years later. Yo, he came to me. He's like, yo, is he going to stop? He was like, no. He's like, no. We tried to tell you. He's like, my family goes hard. And he was like, my uncle, when he starts saying this shit, he's not going to stop. You're going to be at your wedding. He's just going to start bringing this story up. Like, he's just not going to stop. And the next time he saw me, humble as a motherfucker. But it happens that way because, but if I just was that offensive. Now, did he deserve all that? Probably didn't. I probably could have shut him up at the table. I could have.
But you ain't hit him.
I have done people like that.
Let me tell you something. As angry as I've gotten, I'm not doing it.
But my natural reaction is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is not saying it's the right reaction.
Right.
But my natural reaction is what it's going to be.
You
you have to deal with it. Like, that might have been Will's natural reaction. And I'm not, and once again, I am not justifying, but I'm from an era, you deal with the consequences. You could be joning on somebody.
And they might fight you.
And they might want to fight afterwards.
Yeah, you're right. And
oh, you think you're funny?
Some comedians have to deal with that on a regular basis.
I can't agree.
I mean, you...
So wait, let me ask you this. You can't agree. So did you know that Chris was bullied growing up?
Yeah.
So my question is, what mindset would cause a child who had been bullied to grow up and decide they want to bully other people and hide behind the title comedy? Because he goes in on a lot of people.
So, but Wendy Williams made a career of bullying people, and
Wendy Williams to this day has shown us that she can't take it in return.
But nobody ever put hands on it, even from our vibe.
Not that we know about.
People have put hands on Wendy.
Wendy Williams lost her job because she tried because when she was going to leak that gay rapper shit about Diddy, it shut her down and sent her ass to Philly.
Let me tell you something. First of all, and then on top of that, Wendy is a massive woman. Well, was. She ain't big like she was, but she was like a thick chick and she was tall. So at the end of the day, there are some people. I know when I was younger, the way I was brought up, if you run your mouth, you better back it up.
That was the same way I was, but that doesn't make it right.
I didn't say it was.
No one's we
So what
The
I'm
point
saying
that I made
is,
if you allow people to say something to take you out of your character, to
that
assault
might not be out of his character.
but the point is, if you're supposed to be having, if you're a comedian, you make jokes. If you're sensitive and you're in the audience, you know some comedians talk about people in the audience. So don't take your ass to a comedy show if you're going to get sensitive. They
But
choose
this was
but my point is, by saying words, when we came up, they can say whatever the fuck they want. As long as they put their hands on you, it is
Right,
what
I'm
it
with
is.
you on
But
that.
see,
So now all of a sudden somebody said something that hurts your feelings because you feel disrespected. So first of all, how are you giving somebody else that power that they're
right.
disrespecting you by saying words out of their mouth? And you're so weak-minded that your only response you can have, instead of being sarcastic and being a dickhead like we know we both can do,
Yeah.
you resort to violence.
Right.
And then say Will smacked him, Chris slips, hit his head, he's in a coma.
Oh Lord, he done.
No, just imagine.
But-
Because it happens on live television.
But CP3,
I'm just saying, just think about it.
But
That's
CP3
a real, he's wearing slippery shoes on the stage.
Right, no.
But CP3 can
It could have happened.
But CP3 can I want to yeah, I want to kind of like what you said though, because you're like, well, if a comedian says something, why should I just have to take it if he says it though?
Because you're in the audience, you're paying to be there, and you know the comedian.
I didn't pay to get joned on.
But you paid.
I didn't pay to get it. I didn't pay to get insulted.
You're paid to be in the audience that comes with the
I
show.
paid.
but not
I paid.
everybody's show. That's
I
a
paid
certain
to see the
style.
show, and I paid, and I paid not to be a part of the show.
That's true. You paid.
Is that not my right though?
I mean, you walk into a venue.
Is that not my right though?
But
It's your right,
But if I don't want to be a part of
it, it's illegal for someone to talk about you wrong. So you cannot want it, but people in hell want ice water don't mean they're going to get it.
But being talked about is also is a form of bullying.
Yeah, and you can
it's,
get up and walk out the show, or ask for a refund and say I didn't pay for it.
Well, if they don't give me my refund, and this dude done insulted me and my mama, what's left?
Then what I do, what I've learned is the smart thing to do instead of assaulting someone. If it's a venue, I go on social media, go live, and talk bad about them and put up bad reviews and try to affect their bottom line. That's what I do now. My younger days, I probably would have put hands on them. But I'm speaking as an older adult and what we should do.
Right. Yeah, well, no, we all, I think, agree already what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
I just don't like the condoning the double standard. I don't understand, but I would have probably did the same thing. It's not saying it's wrong. It's saying he did it wrong because it's on live television. But yeah, we was in the street, I'd have knocked the motherfucker head off.
Well, no, so let me.
But that may be a personal. You don't. For one, and I look at it like this, and I'm gonna let Super Dave talk too, because I don't want to feel like we overshadowing.
Oh,
but
no, it's cool. I'm just soaking up all the stuff.
but for one is like you don't know what he's dealing with at home, and
we know some of it.
Yeah, we know.
That's why I understand.
Besides an entanglement, the thing about it is like you don't know how this affects. It's easy to get on the social media and I could pull out some fake money right now and tell everybody I'm rich, bitch, and project that I'm living a rich life. Anybody can do that on social media. Anybody could present a positive spin on stuff. Well, that's my
call you right now. Like,
that's Will Smith. Like what you mean?
What's your address though?
We ain't said nothing bad about it. We ain't said bad. Well, I said.
I mean, we can slap box. I think I could take them.
Nah, I wouldn't want to.
Smack me once. I'm so.
But anybody could put that out there like that. It's difficult to deal with the reality of the situation. When you find out that you have something, when you're dealing with an illness. On a personal note, when one of my sisters was younger, she came to us through my mom adopted my sister. She came to us as a baby, and she had alopecia, and she had cradle crack. And my mom spent months and getting it out her hair and stuff like that. So by the time that she was able to go to school, she wouldn't have to deal with that. For women, you know, it's a big issue. Like I said, I'm not condoning what he did, but we don't know what could be the trigger because we don't know what's going on in the home. You don't know, like when my brother went to jail, and I remember this because my grandmother came over. She did not know that I just put my mother to sleep, and my grandmother came over, and she was drunk, and she woke my mother up, and I kicked my grandmother out the house because she did not know I watched my mother cry for 8 hours because her oldest son had just got locked up. And at that time, she couldn't understand my pain and my frustration. And I had to look at, and then I had to walk to go get food for my nephew and my sister at that time. So we don't know this, you know what I'm saying? The behind the scenes struggles it's a great unknown. And like I said, it's just a situation that sometimes it's the straw that breaks the camel's back.
I get it.
And on top of that, you also have to look at it like this. Will may not be emotionally mature.
He may not.
Well,
definitely not emotionally stable.
Some of the stuff that came out after the fact, that I don't know if I think we talked about it offline. He said that when he came up, his mom was abused and he was abused, and he felt like a coward his whole life because he never stood up for his mom.
And now he has an opportunity.
So that's why I say I understand it with everything that he was going through, why he had that reaction. I just wish it wouldn't have happened.
Right.
So let's Super Dave.
Yes, sir.
As we've been, the one thing I love about this show is like this: is we can respectfully as men and women agree to disagree, and still voice our opinions and hear each other out. I love that aspect about that show. I love the fact that we're not all yes men, but
and he said that because I don't agree with nothing none of y'all say. I'm smacking everybody. No. But yeah, man, I
if y'all can see the look that Lady Antoinette gave him a minute ago.
I'm like, do it.
Nah, I ain't smacking nobody. But yeah, I'm glad I had a chance to do this too, because like, you know, this the definitive kind of like this. We've been talking about it for a week now. It's been going on, so I'm like, let me get with the good people at the bar so we could have this final conversation about it, get all the grievances out, and shut this down. But yeah, I kind of like agree with aspects of what all of y'all said. I feel like, first of all, it was some pretty just from a comedy standpoint, it's pretty funny jokes that came out this week. I just heard your man Godfrey was like, Will left Fresh Prince across Chris's face, and I thought that was the funniest one. I'm not gonna go into it anymore because y'all want to make light of the situation.
And the memes and stuff.
Oh my goodness! So they had his face on Ike Turner and had him walking down the street in The Wire, like Omar's coming, like this how he walk in the comedy shows. So all that's hilarious. But like on a serious note, you know, it's I think like the consensus has been here. It's a sad situation for all of us. I think that like has been said already. You know, the bottom line is you have to deal with the consequences of your actions. So, and I think Chris knew that, and that's why he didn't press charges and things of that nature. Because like as a comedian, like Lady Antoinette alluded to, it's many situations where you say stuff that hit that button, and you know, you got to deal with it. Like, you have to deal with the response that you might get. And understand that violence might be a response to that. Not saying that it's cool, but that's things that happen. Mm-hmm. And also on the flip side, Will has to now deal with the consequences of the talk of, you know, I mean, I don't think they'll ever take an Oscar from him just because, you know, he's a black man's first Oscar. The backlash would be bananas. But yeah, they have to.
You put yourself in a situation.
But exactly. Not only that, but I think that's why he was crying though. We say CP3. They're not gonna take it.
If they take his, they gotta take Roman Polanski, Stanley
all
Kubrick,
the people
all the child.
So they definitely not gonna. What's the difference between them?
They're white.
They're white and black.
Okay, that's
but
what I'm trying to say to
I
you.
understand that, but that's what I'm saying. If they take his, I'll be the motherfucker
Definitely.
out there riding, talking
There
about
you
it.
go.
Definitely.
And then
And that's why I don't think they're gonna take it. But
That bullshit.
beyond that, just the fact of the attention that he took away from all of the
Everybody
first,
else.
all of the people, and I think he knew that, and that's why he cried when he gave his quote unquote acceptance speech.
Because he
You know.
stole the spotlight.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and he knew, you know, the impact of what he did after he did it. But you know, I definitely really felt your story about your, you know, your brother and you know your family and stuff. Just because it's the bottom line is you don't know what people are going through,
Right.
You know, and so at the end of the day, like when people are dealing with different things. You never know what that last thing is. It's gonna make him snap. This happened to be it for Will, and he's dealing with a lot. You don't know how much, you know, Jada was in the house dealing with, and regardless of the stuff that she did to him, which is a whole nother thing that's just bananas. But you know, to have somebody.
Well, we don't know that. That's what your opinion is.
No, come on.
To see somebody
that's my thing.
To see somebody you love dealing with stuff like that. And going through the struggles and going through the crying and all that, and then to have somebody make light of it, you know, it can be a trigger. But honestly, for me, Will don't get like people saying, yeah, he was protecting his wife and all this. You don't get a pass for hitting somebody. First of all, like Chris, who's smaller than you, who's not known to fight and all this. Like, it's not like you didn't do nothing gangster.
But he knew Chris wasn't going to hit him.
Exactly. To turn and walk away, like, and to disrespect somebody that much, to first of all, overhand slap a man. And the second of all, turn your back on him and walk away, like, and I know you're not going to do nothing. Come on, bro. Like,
he got RKO.
Yeah. Like, you got to kick him in the back or something.
He knew.
He knew what he could get away with. And so, and he knew it's people that he wouldn't have tried that with. And, you know, I'm a fan of Will.
Maybe not, but.
So.
Will's a good actor. I'm a fan of his and all of that. But yeah, that was just like, I mean, you know, if people saying stuff like Jada was like, you know, Tupac would have did something, you know, and all that.
But that's another thing I do want to talk about too is the effects and how much is social media to blame for this, because we did, you know, not saying we in general, but social media hyped the whole August Alsina up. The crying face Will meme, you know, everything was in the.
Hurting. He shouldn't have did that though. I wouldn't have got on the red table. Supposed to talk about that at your table.
Well, he claimed he was tired because he was filming, which now we now know.
Red from crying.
Right, but that's my thing. We now know he was filming at the time, but. It didn't. At the time that I watched it, I was like, "Oh, poor Will."
But you know,
and I just want.
Okay, hold on. I gotta be ignorant real quick. First of all, I can't even pronounce your name.
No.
Buka Kataka Shaka, or whatever the hell your name is.
That was it. No, man. Shout out to him.
If we're doing a live podcast and you say hi, long time working on digital marketing, would you like to promote your channel? I would like your dumb ass not to put anything up here. You want to give us a like and a share? Cool. I would never work with you. One, your name sound like the wrong way, like a bad street.
So
they on their way over here.
No.
You right
I wish they would.
Let me say this. People who do that, I want to say this. Number one, we're going to go ahead and delete that.
Yeah, we're going to delete it.
That's number one. But number two, the reason why they do that is because they want our viewers to see what they're putting. And thank you, whatever your name is, for letting us know that we do have some people watching, because they only do that on
a certain amount of people.
Yeah, a certain amount of people. So thank you for letting us know we have a certain amount of people. We will now be deleting you.
Yes, and you also been banned off the page. They gave me an option of banning him and deleting him. Thank you.
Consequences of your actions. You gotta do.
See, that's my first response.
But I want to say this real quick. I feel like Will, his whole purpose of smacking Chris was so that Chris can keep Jada's name out of his mouth. He wanted to show that he wanted to take up for his wife. But however, he has made the situation so much worse.
So much worse. Because so many people gonna come for you now.
And I think have you heard Corey Holcomb?
I mean, I don't think nothing he
my
said was
God.
wrong though. Like Corey Holcomb is he's
So-
harsh, but he's smart.
So what did he say?
Oh, you tell him. You
Well,
saw
I mean, it was. He
So the
said a
camera's
lot of
on you
stuff.
now.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna repeat that.
Yeah,
Give
I
me
mean,
the-
I'm not gonna
give
repeat
me-
word for word.
give
but
us the highlights.
He called Jada a lot of names, and
Mhm.
to a certain extent, I
He
think
said
when as
she's
a man.
evil.
Yeah, I think when as a man you see
So-
a situation
Yeah.
like that, you
Mhm.
kind
So-
of pick out what's going on. Did you see anything?
I didn't, but I want to harp on a point that she just said.
Yeah,
So Songbird, Nanya,
Oh, okay.
good friend of the show, had broke down. I meant to send the meme and put it up, but it was just saying that, and it was breaking down Jada Pinkett as being a narcissist.
Yeah.
And it was breaking it down of why would you promote him or have him do that on that particular night, and made it more about you, and I can see
Because
that she,
ultimately it got us talking about her.
Her,
condition.
yes.
Yeah.
and I can see, and I don't know, we don't know Jada Pinkett personally. However,
She
I
Baltimore. I know a bunch of Baltimore.
I bet you do. And,
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not even gonna lump
Mhm.
Baltimore women with the type of woman that Jada Pinkett
That's a
is.
good
But-
point. Yeah, shout out to all the Baltimore.
but
Sorry. No
I'm
disrespect.
not from Baltimore though. I'm gonna put that out there.
Just in case they are.
but she does have a little bit of narcissistic tendencies.
Little.
A lot. Even if you watch, to me, Red Table Talk comes with kind of narcissistic at times.
Mm.
I definitely see that.
There's some things I have.
So, one, I think, social media. I think social media played a big part in the breaking of Will Smith. The memes, the
That's a
criming.
good way to put it. Especially the breaking of Will Smith.
Yeah.
We saw him
That's a good
snap
title.
at the end of that.
Yeah.
That's a good
You
time.
know, this
And,
go ahead, I'm sorry, but yeah.
No, definitely.
'Cause he
Social
definitely-
social media played a big part in that.
Mhm.
And then his wife plays another part. I do want to address something that was said, and I don't say it was ignorant. I feel like when people said something like, well, why didn't he do that to August Alsina? That's a totally different situation.
Exactly.
As during the Red Table Talk, him and Jada both admitted they were on a break. And that's their business.
And August, and essentially, August said from the jump, he had
Permission. And so that's a totally different thing, a totally different moment. Those are apples and oranges,
Right.
and people are trying to lump those together. Well, they all fruit,
They try
and
to
it's
lump
everything together. They're like, well, it's all fruit, but nah, it's not. It's a little bit different.
And there are
The
people
taste
out
are
here
different.
that- they're not just saying, "Oh, Will should have slapped August." They're like, "Oh, well, he wouldn't have did this to this person. He wouldn't have did this to The Rock." And I'm like, The Rock wouldn't have made that joke.
And
What you mean?
And here's the thing: as a black man, I think black men need to stand up for black women. But there's a right way and there's a wrong way to handle the situation.
Indeed.
And I was like, yo, he stood up for his wife. That's a good thing. But how he handled it was a bad thing. And as a black man, we do have to stand up and defend our black women, even if it's against other black men. But it's just a right way to handle that.
Well, can I counter that?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna counter that. So at the same time, yes, black men should stand up for black women, but black women need to understand that they're so important and so influential. With that said, there is no way under God's green earth I would have sat there and let my man embarrass himself like that.
So that was gonna be my question.
I would have grabbed his arm, honey. No,
Yeah. Do you think he would have? Do you think she would? She has that much? You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
She does have that much power because
Yeah,
you know
I'm just
what?
asking 'cause
He
I've
was
heard
in
people
a
say that.
lighthearted move. He was ready to laugh it off. He looked at her expression.
I
I'ma
think she
tell
might
you-
even say something to him. I don't think because people like he just seen her face. I think she was.
But
Like,
no, that's my
something, you
thing.
know?
As a black woman, first of all, let's be real. Will is the breadwinner in that house, right?
Yeah.
So, and I've been in a situation where I had to stay at home, okay, and raise children, and my when I was married, my husband.
At 25?
Shane ain't saying that exhale.
It's been a long 25 years. For those who don't know, I'm 25. Do not try to argue with me about that. I have decided I'm gonna be 35 in June. Okay. And hey, mind your business. Okay?
Notice how she stopped to make a point though.
Right.
So I need y'all to understand that I will be 35 in June. I have decided I'm gonna go ahead and be 35 now. But anyone who wants to argue that with me, no, thank you. Okay, you don't know me. So with that said, I have been in a situation where my husband was the breadwinner. Okay, so when your husband is a breadwinner, it is in your best interest to make sure that he does what he's supposed to do to succeed. That is not succeed. Since Will Smith smacked that man, there have been other future projects that are coming up that have now been paused.
Netflix has paused a project.
He has now resigned from the Academy, which is going to also be a downfall to his career.
Yes, because now he doesn't. His value has gone down.
There you go.
As an actor.
And so at the end,
went down. I think.
Well, no, desire for him. First of all, you have to understand that in Hollywood, people say Hollywood is not political. It is.
No,
it is.
At the end of the day,
kind of
if you have now shown us that you cannot control your temper, we may not want to work with you.
Yes.
That's true.
And the reason why I say his value went down. So if I get this great script and I'm like, damn, I wrote this stuff and I want to win the Academy Award, and it's a powerful, and it's about a powerful black man. Who do I want to get? Do I want to get Chris Rock or do I want to get Will Smith? Who I know.
No, you're not gonna choose Chris Rock.
Exactly.
You're not.
And no shade. No shade.
It was a classic, and I'm not gonna let you.
It was a classic piece of garbage.
But it ain't no Oscar.
But we talking. But now I got this movie that's an Oscar winner, and the actor who I want to play the part now
is no longer with the Academy.
Is no longer with the Academy. So now if we do it, we lose a category to even have the movie nominated in the Oscar. We can have Best Actress, but I want my movie to win every freaking Oscar.
But see, on top of that, like I said, at the end of the day, Will has now shown us he cannot control his emotions.
Yes.
His best bet is to openly say, "Oh, I'm getting therapy," and things like that. That's his best bet. That's the only thing he can really do at this point. But as a woman, and that's your husband, I feel really strongly. First of all, just like black men need to protect black women, let's be real, black women need to protect black men. Sometimes from themselves.
Yes.
And that power that they hold, I 100% agree. And that's
as his wife, she
Yeah.
has power. As the mother of two of his children, she has power.
Yes.
And just like he was trying to go up there to defend her honor, she should have grabbed his arm to defend him from himself. You don't want that man to tear up his career like that. A career he had before he got with you.
There's nothing sexier than a lady protecting her man or making him right in a bad situation.
I don't know if you've ever seen lesbian porn, then, because that's a lot sexy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Know what?
Super Davis, I would expect CP3 to say that.
CP3 started laughing so hard.
But
I said I'm wrong.
He wrong too. I need you to understand that.
Obviously, CP3 agrees.
The truth is the truth. The truth does not require your.
But I say that is because when I was out one night and a female corrected my posture. She said, "Look, sit comfortably, sit like you belong here," and it made me value her even more. But it let me know that she valued me as a man as much.
True. Yeah.
So,
Rick James,
you know what? See, this is. That's why you see. We try to get you out here.
That was a perfect response to her saying.
How am I supposed to hook you up with all these people and you act like this?
I'm just saying.
I'm just.
No, that would not have been.
You know. Anyway, Super Dave, you got any something to say? Because
This one right here.
I don't even know what to say at this point. I lost my point.
Nah, I just like that was gonna be my question to you, and I'm glad you addressed that though, because a lot of people, have been talking about the how much this was Jada's fault as much as Will's, and like how she could have made moves to defuse the situation before it got to that point.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't, everybody's responsible for their own actions, in my opinion, but I do recognize the power that women have over men, and especially somebody that you love. Like, he did that because of
her.
The feelings, that she had, and the emotions and things like that.
She clearly has power.
Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, everybody got to deal with the consequences of their actions. And so, her too, as his wife, because, I mean, people, brought light to the fact that when this was happening, when she came back to the seat, she was down there smiling and laughing. And the son posted, "This is how we do it," on Twitter. What's his name, Jaden? He was like, "Yep, that's how we do it," or something like that.
Yeah, he was like, that's how we do. But first of all, Jaden is a little firecracker.
Yeah. So.
But on top of that, Jaden's young. Yeah. I don't expect a certain amount of maturity from him versus his 50-something-year-old father.
52-year-old father. And I think he realized, like, it's so many implications. Like, it's so many people that look up to him as a role model, from children
to adults,
who now see it as, regardless of anything that Will Smith says, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of anything that Will Smith says, now what you do, is what people focus on. And
true indeed. I need to put the camera back on Lady Antoinette real quick because I want to see her face. Shout out to Black Scorp. Shout out to Thomas and Victor. And he put 35, and then he put the little emoji.
Thomas.
He got the hum emoji. He got the hum. It's not a bad one.
Thomas, I thought we were better than that. That's so right.
Make sure she ain't got no blades.
First of all, hold on, Thomas, don't do me like this. I have come to you and I have brought business to your establishment, and I plan on bringing more. Mm-hmm. Why would you do me like this? I thought we were better than that.
He just said hum. He said hum.
You said what?
Better wear stab vest next time.
You don't wear no stab vest to because I haven't stabbed you, so there's no need.
I told you, I'm ex-Boy Scout. Be prepared, baby.
Whatever.
Be prepared.
So, that was just interesting.
Thomas is, I feel betrayed.
You feel betrayed?
Yes, I thought Thomas
bamboozled.
was my friend.
You just said hum.
Yeah, no, you can't trust everybody.
But it could be, but it could be he may be like, well, I thought you was 25. It could be that type of hum too.
Maybe that's what it is. I like how you trying to clean it up, but I don't think that's what it was.
You can't cut out, watch it cut.
Yeah.
I can. I mean.
Watch it
like just a little cut.
So can I ask though, is canceling Will Smith option a question right now?
No.
I don't think
anybody should get canceled.
I don't think.
That's bullshit.
I feel like you get canceled. It's first of all, real talk. Why Chris Rock didn't get canceled when he bashed black celebrities for doing something right? But we gonna cancel somebody for slapping him.
Well, I think, like you said, I don't think he. I think in comedy it's more understood that that's what it is. Like I think he supports the movement, but that was a funny, like when the joke he made in 2016 about Jada,
like the panties and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that was counterproductive for our cause.
I think that he draws parallels, and like CP3 said, he shines that light on stuff that's because I mean, she was saying she was boycotting the Oscars, but she wasn't invited, and that was the bottom line. And then they were saying she was mad because he didn't get the Oscar.
Chris said that. Chris said that, she just mad because he didn't get nominated for Concussion.
I heard other people say that too. But
at the end of the day, if you want to boycott the Oscars and they were supposed to attend, so whether you feel like, she wasn't invited, her and Will were supposed to attend.
I feel like it's a joke. I hear you though.
It was a joke. However, I feel like it was counterproductive.
Yeah, we just say
because when you have a platform, you have to be very strategic about how you use that platform. And I feel like it's so many times that Chris Rock has done this shuck and jive
I feel like Tyler Perry is counterproductive to the cause.
So-
Well, at the same time, I'm gonna be real with you. Until he built his complex, I would have agreed with you.
Does that still because he's giving black people money and jobs? And that
No.
still
He's
condones
giving
what he
them
does?
opportunity. He has a whole production, like company. He has a whole campus where we can now go. He has created literally Black Hollywood, not just as a theory, but a location as
So
well.
he's bought his soul back, is what you're saying.
No, I didn't say he brought his soul back.
So
I'm saying as far as being counterproductive.
his movies are still kind of, he did the shit that Mary J. Blige shit. That's counterproductive, but he still did it.
You said
Because he
which
wanted
Mary J.
to
Blige?
dress up in drag again for one good time. He ain't doing these movies no more, but he
But
still
here's my
had
thing.
to
There's
throw
a
on
lot.
girdle.
Hold on. Before you go on, we don't want to
This
bash the LGBTQ community. Dressing up as a woman, some people believe that's not counterproductive.
let's just bring it back to the conversation piece. The Tyler Perry ain't the conversation piece.
It's comedy. That's just comedy.
It's comedy, yes, but you have a platform.
But sometimes I think I remember when Chris Rock was on The Breakfast Club, right? And he wanted to do The Breakfast Club for a little bit because he didn't like DJ Envy, and he was mad. But the beef was petty. The beef was because DJ Envy was coaching his daughter's basketball team. So this is what you said about being counterproductive to society or to the culture. DJ Envy was coaching his basketball team, and Chris Rock's daughter was on the opposite team, and the opposite team sucked. And they ran up the score on them. And Chris Rock was mad because Envy didn't just put the substitutes in it because they ran up the score on his daughter's team. So when he came to the Breakfast Club at that particular time, Envy wasn't allowed to be there.
That is stupid.
They said Envy ain't want to be there or something, but I think they ain't want.
That's stupid.
That's a father, man.
But it's
Some
not even
fathers
about
gotta
being a
protect
father.
some
First of
fathers.
all, your child plays sports.
But if your reasoning, but CP3, if your reasoning,
But you saying he's sensitive, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying I
But you're
condone
not
it, but
sensitive
if
to
he-
other
if he
people's
has that power-
sensitivities.
but you saying that's being a
has
father.
that
But what
power
happened
to
to just being a
control
husband?
I'm just saying, if he had, like I said, it was a joke. If he felt a certain way about it and he has the power to say, I don't want this person there if I'm doing an interview, you goddamn right I'm going to pull my dick out and put it on the table. I don't want that motherfucker there. If I'm going to do the show, get him the fuck out of there. That's his power. Will was there at the Oscars. He had a priest as a presenter. She chose to be there along his side. Like you said, he's the breadwinner. She ain't got an Oscar for shit. She could have stayed her bald ass at home. But she didn't. She was there in the audience. She knows that her and Chris have beef. So therefore, Chris would probably take a shot. So
Well,
as you say, the narcissist thing,
They only
all the stars lined up for this shit to happen. She took the shine off of her husband that was having the greatest day of his acting career because she wanted the fucking spotlight on her. That red table bullshit and the entanglement shit, it's all about her. So that's what I'm saying. That's the root of the fucking cause. The slap, Chris Rock being a punk, all that is non-existent. It's the fact that it's a toxic bitch that made all of this shit happen. And we're not talking about that. And that's what we need to be talking about, mental health and people going to therapy. We need to talk about narcissistic bitches that know how to push people buttons and get them to do what they want. We talk about manipulative men, sex trafficking and all of that, while we don't talk about the flip side of the women that do the same thing to the men that don't go out there and get victimized because they're a man.
Yeah,
Are we talking about Jada now?
That's real though.
Because of real talk, I got some things I need to say.
But that's real though because what's your man? Ricky Smiley was talking about how, you know, they talking about he was protecting his wife and that's why I was asking about her letting him do that because it's like Ricky Smiley was saying, it's dudes filling cemeteries and jails now because they was protecting their man and protecting their woman.
Yep, that's
and
true.
you know what I'm saying, made that decision and first of all, they made a bad decision, but then also this woman that has this ability to affect his mood, to affect his actions, wasn't smart enough or cared enough to be like, don't do it, not, or at least not right now.
Right.
This ain't the time or something, because something as small as that could have shut that whole thing down. And I mean, I don't know how true that is, but I definitely have seen situations
I've been
where
you are able, as a woman, you can really calm your man. Sometimes his woman is the only person.
I agree.
Not even his mom.
Right.
And that's the strength of a good woman. When you have a good woman.
A good woman.
A good woman. Black Storm said, you know I love you, lady internet. And then
to clean it up.
and then he said, and then he says, I'm fat and identify as skinny. I'm trans slender.
Trans slender. Oh shit! He just started a new trend. That's gonna be.
So am I.
I just found a mailbox. I just want y'all to know.
A mailbox?
Yes.
I don't even want to know why.
No, I didn't see it. That's too different.
I'm just saying. I don't know why.
But to get back to what CPT was saying, we were just talking about Jada's narcissistic behavior as being the root of some of what's going on.
So can I please touch on this?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so let me say this. I feel like Jada has put Will in an uncomfortable situation far too many times. And I feel like she did have the opportunity to stop it, and she chose not to. I don't know if it was her ego or what the situation was. But first of all, let's go back a little bit. Because Will has been the butt of so many jokes as a result of being married to her. He's been the butt of the Tupac jokes. Because when she speaks about Tupac, you can see the love and affection that she has for him, but not for her husband. Shut up. But on top of that, Will even said himself he's always felt intimidated by Tupac because of Jada. Why is it that you're with this woman and you feel this way? The only reason why you can feel intimidated by another man when it comes to your wife is because of something that your wife did or said.
Exactly.
So
I don't want to judge this woman because real talk, I do see that she has done some things that are good. However, in regards to her marriage, what we see as a in public, I don't like it. Yeah. Because there's no first of all, if y'all have an open marriage or y'all was split, cool. But you chose wrong. You chose wrong. You chose a little young dude that was friends with your son, which I would never in a million years do. But hey, whatever. But yeah, he was August and Jaden were friends. And that's how she met
into the house.
Sleep over shit.
No, they moved him into the house.
But here's the thing. Here's the key. Keep this in mind, y'all. August was going through something.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And mentally, he was not together. Y'all see a pattern? But anyway, so Jada started dating August. Her and Will supposedly not together based off of what they said. Based off of what Will and Jada said, they weren't together. They were split. They weren't even in the same household.
Yeah. He said I was through with you.
But you decided to engage in a sexual relationship with a young man who was not emotionally stable, and he ran his mouth because he fell in love with you.
Yeah.
In my opinion, when it first came out, I was like, "Oh, she pried on this little young man." I don't like that, but whatever. Yeah. That's her business. But as a public, looking out to the public, this whole situation to the public, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. And then he ran his mouth, and instead of when they were on the red table talk, having their little conversation, instead of just flat out owning up to it, admitting that you were wrong, apologizing to your husband. She downplayed it.
Yeah, entanglement.
We had an entanglement. No, you slept with him. Okay, you had a sexual relationship. She couldn't even say it.
Keep your balls out of my wife's mouth.
But I felt some kind of way because anyone who is in my circle of friends, anyone who truly pays attention to me on social media, I adore the black man. I'm always going to support the black man. I'm always going to, I don't care if at the end of the day, if the world hates you, I love you. Some black men think that means that I want to be with them, but that's a whole nother story. But it's just genuine love. Yeah, that's not. Look, please don't send me nothing in my inbox. I don't want it.
Again.
I really don't. but at the end of the day, as a whole, I want to provide that support to the black man. So when I see a situation like this, it does bother me. The Will and Jada dynamic bothers me. Even the Jada and August.
Do you know why it bothers
me?
Because as a black man, what you look for as a mate is someone that picks you up. not put you down. And when you have somebody that when you have the right person by you, you feel invincible. When you have the wrong person by you, you second guess everything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make you feel secure.
Right.
And when a man doesn't feel secure, this is the reaction that you get.
And he's doing it's like a child trying to get attention and get love and support from their parent. That's what it looks like. And it's like,
Mommy, see what I did to him, Mommy?
Mommy, I smacked him for you. Like, no. Baby, no. And that's what,
because
all she had to do was put her hand out and say no.
Because back to what y'all was saying earlier. If anything, the minute he stood up, she should have been like, no, baby.
Yep.
And that would have diffused the whole situation. Or she could have been like, no, wait, you can approach him later, but now is not the time.
Because in life, there's so many people I want to smack.
You?
So I said want to, but I don't. Because why? I'm grown. I'm grown. I'm an adult. I know that, first of all, I have words that I can use.
Yeah.
That can actually probably do much more damage. Okay? And then on top of that, even as a child, one thing I learned, you do not strike first.
Exactly.
Will, maybe he was snatched out of West Philly too early or something. I don't know until he learned this lesson. But you don't strike first. And then you struck in front of so many witnesses.
So many people. And so should he have been allowed to, this is another big question, should he have been allowed to sit there? Like they said they asked Chris Rock if he was comfortable with him being there, but is that the right, like, should
no, that's not how it should have done.
They actually asked him to leave.
They said they asked him to leave.
Yeah, and they said he said no, he wouldn't leave.
Here's my thing, if you really wanted him to leave, if you wanted him to leave, he would have left. They did not want him to leave. Why? Because that slap brought in viewership.
I wasn't watching it until
viewership jumped.
And I didn't even watch it after that.
So let's be real. At the end of the day, Chris Rock, when he hosted, he was being their token. I'm going to just say it. When he hosted back in 2016, he was being their token. So these people that you were a token for, they not looking out for you. You got slapped.
And
they did not make the man leave.
And even crazier than that is because they made Will Smith against his will be the token. Now he's the token.
Yo, so here's the funny thing. I want to break down something, but go ahead, CP. I don't want to cut you off.
Okay, so the issue was that we didn't have diversity at the Oscars. So then they asked a black man to bring diversity to the Oscars, and by him accepting that makes him a token because they're giving him what they want, diversity.
No. They made him a token. When they selected him. See, sometimes you don't even know you a token in some situations. I've been in situations and I looked around the room. Oh, I'm the token. Okay, I'm the only black person here. I've been there. So at the end of the day, he was their token.
But the nominees were already in. Even if he wouldn't have done it, there was still going to be no black nominees if he didn't.
You're right, but they were trying to save face by saying, "Oh, we're not racist. Look, we have Chris Rock."
They're trying to address the issue. That's what I'm saying. I try to understand.
I don't think they were trying to address. They were trying to save face.
Like with the argument with, like I make all the time about when a white cop kills a black person, we want to ride in the streets, but every day a black person kills a black person and nobody gives a fuck. I don't understand the logic that they're having to decide to be upset and, oh no, this is different because of X, Y, and Z. If we're going to be upset, let's be fucking upset about the murder, period, not about what person or what color the person said or who got offended by it. As long as we keep on splitting these fucking hairs, we're never going to be equal in anybody's eyes because we always want to emphasize, oh, this is the first black person that did something, or this is the first Latino person that did. Why can't we just say a human being did something great and let's move on?
Well, so the Oscars is known for being racist as a whole.
So why do we keep harping on it if we already know this?
Well, no, that's the reason why people are saying, oh, the first this, the first that. Because it is. It's the first. So, out of all these years that the Oscars have been in existence.
If you don't like it, stop watching and stop being a
participant. But that's why they chose Chris, because they were trying to get the last little bit of black viewership to continue to watch by having a black man host.
Yeah, but if they are,
so many people were boycotting.
So let me.
I didn't watch it that year, but I don't.
Let me interject. I stopped watching the Oscars a long time ago. But the thing about it is that the win itself was a monumental win because it's one of the it's the first time a black male actor has won for a role that wasn't negative. And I talked about this with CP3. You know, I love Training Day. Training Day beat out Ali, which was a great movie that Will Smith did.
Right.
But he was a dirty cop.
Right, and Denzel had so many
and
roles before then.
And Denzel has great roles before.
They wasn't gonna give him an Oscar for Malcolm X.
He should have.
You're right, but the content they're not ready for that type of.
It's people that think Denzel Malcolm X now because of that.
Right, because he played that part to a T.
Yeah. He gave the respect he deserved.
Definitely. Was Training Day a Oscar-worthy movie? I believe it. Was it an Oscar-worthy performance? Denzel embodied that particular character. Yes.
The movie.
I
mean, Dr. Dre's acting sucked.
That wasn't the best movie he's been in.
No, it wasn't.
Like, honestly, I felt like Deja Vu was better than Training Day.
I don't know about that.
The script, when it comes
Deja
to
Vu,
Oscars,
Deja Vu was low budget, but if Denzel wasn't in it, it wouldn't have been worth watching.
You're right, but the plot was much better.
Paula Patton. I know.
Paula Patton. Yeah. Paula Patton. Wait a minute. Y'all vote on this one, Lady Anthony. Paula Patton sexy.
Wait, hold on. I'm not saying she ugly. I'm saying that's not the only reason why you should be watching the movie.
That's a lot of reasons.
That's not my favorite actress. She made it easier to watch.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, I'm about to watch it tonight.
Oh my God.
After WrestleMania.
Oh my God. You watched Deja Vu last week.
Yeah, it was on. It's a couple of joints he did that was Oscar worthy, but.
Right.
And then The Last King of Scotland. Forrest Whitaker won. You know, and that was he played Idi Amin.
Right.
Forrest Whitaker
I'm shocked that the Oscars the Academy decided to,
to give that movie there.
But
I'm not because
this the same Academy that gave what's it Whip That Trick.
Yeah.
Real talk, 3 6 Mafia we needed that. We needed them to perform on the Oscars too. We needed that. We needed that. That was ratchet as all outdoors, but we needed that.
But
real quick, now to change the subject. What y'all think of that movie? What was it?
Hustle and Flow?
Yeah.
You said Hustle and Flow?
Yeah, what you think of that?
It was garbage.
I loved it.
It was alright.
For the Oscars, it looked like one of them hood movies that you watch that come on. Remember UPN? It used to come,
So let me.
No, UPN, not Cinemax. UPN.
Yeah, you're terrible, UPN. Let me get back to my point. She said UPN. That's terrible. CC Dub.
No, but you remember the type of movies that would come on that channel.
But you know, The Last King of Scotland won. And that was the year Will Smith was up for, what was the movie?
Pursuit of Happiness, right?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
Which he should have gotten.
Oscar, yeah.
The Last King of Scotland was a good movie. However, I think me and CPD was talking about this on the phone one day.
They're not going to give Oscar to a black man being uplifting. They'd rather give it to a murderous king.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
That's the bottom line.
Like this dude got 46 children because he was just killing his wives. I don't like you no more. Click.
Bye.
You ain't wet enough. Click.
The old divorce, the original divorce. You just don't see her no more.
Yeah, it's like death do you part.
Right. Oh, he said death? Oh, death.
Is you. And I thought, so they just put the New Day on tonight. Okay, that's because they heard the black people protest.
We got a voice, y'all.
But this is the first like a black actor winning for a positive vote. Like King Richard, that shit had me mad as a motherfucker. Like some of the stuff he did, I was like, I can't watch this. He's pissing me off. But I went, but it was that good that I got emotionally.
But even still, it's still very controversial.
It is because
his other children.
His other children say, we ain't even mentioned.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not even mentioned. They feel like this does not depict their father.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at the end of the day, your time with your father is not Venus and Serena's time. This is about his life with Venus and Serena.
He had other children. He had other families and stuff. I mean,
before older children. He was married before. He left his family to go you know.
I want to use that as a
To go, we
segue.
really
Start a new
day.
one.
Yeah.
I want to use that as a segue into, I don't know if a lot of folks follow comedian Gerard Carmichael.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was watching his comedy special this past weekend. I watched a few of them, and he's been progressing as a comedian. And he had a show, I believe, on ABC. I never got a chance to check it out, but he reminds me of Dave Chappelle in some aspects. But he was talking about his father. One of his comedy specials, he joked about, what if you find out if your father has a second family and you are the second family? So in this special, he was adding on to that, where he found out his father had a second family, and he made his father tell his mother what was going on. And after he was telling that story and that his father came clean, he sat there and was like, I had something I need to come clean about that my closest friends and family don't know. And he actually came out as gay on his comedy special.
I didn't see the special, but I saw Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, he actually hosted
And when
Saturday Night Live last night.
When he came out for his monologue, he had on like a white Hillary Rodham pantsuit.
Oh, for real?
And I told you, I was with my girl. I turned to her and I was like,
What's
does
going
he
on?
come out? Did he say he's gay or something? And then during the monologue, he's like, yeah, in my last special, I came out as gay. I was like,
It actually came
that
on
pantsuit
Saturday.
is
It actually came
that
on
was a
Saturday night was a premiere because I actually just turned it on.
And then he
And he
on
came
Saturday
out
Night
on the
Live.
show, so I felt that ironic. I like him as a comedian, but the funny I was telling 151, I have started recording it, and as I was turning the channel, he said, because a lot of the fans were like, giving support, we love you, yada yada yada, and he was like, well, I appreciate that, but you don't understand. About 50% of my black audience is turning the channel because they're saying, let's turn this gay shit off. Turn the channel. As he said it, I was like, oh shit.
And you did, didn't you? And you did. And you lived the stereotype, didn't you? How does it feel to be an actual stereotype, CP3? We just want to know. You felt ashamed, didn't you?
Wait, did you still turn it down?
I got it recorded. I haven't watched it.
He's like, I'm just saying what's on Sports Center.
You said, you know what? I ain't even going. I'ma still record it because that counts. Actually,
Let me answer that. That's that. I know black people. I got black friends. I'm not racist. I got black friends.
But yeah, I did feel like, and I was told like, sometimes my girl is like my moral compass. Like,
Yeah.
I've been bouncing stuff off her because I was like,
see, why can't Jada do that? But go ahead.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so I was like, because I feel like sometimes celebrities, because he haven't had a show in a while, like the ABC show was canceled, and now he had the special out, but you haven't really heard too much. So I'm like, did he just do that to people be using, they be pressing the gay button?
Black Scorp said he came out as bi, not necessarily gay.
And we're just not sexual anyway.
There's no such thing as
No, I know what it means, but I'm saying
there's
like
no such thing as a male bisexual.
Well, no. Technically, it is bi is in two, meaning you sleep with both men and women.
You're gay then. You're
gay,
not
but
bi.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. No. Gay means you sleep with the same sex. That's it. So technically, yes. Y'all don't want to believe it, but technically, yes.
Yeah, and I respect everybody's right to be what they want to be and live.
Right, but if you still smashing chicks, you bi.
That means you're gay with
You're disgusting. You're a filthy individual.
That means you're gay with the
You might be a little wide open type of situation.
Don't say wide open. Conversation.
You can't say bi and wide open in the same conversation.
That's my point. You can't
I'm about to change the channel.
Alright, it's time to play a video, y'all.
You're gay with heterosexual.
Alright, we need some music in here because this room has got us. This room is
Everybody angry. I just want you to say
there's no such thing as a bi now. It's like there's no such thing
it
as a male.
is. That means you sleep with both.
we're going to a video because this is
That's a train or a trio, it's not a threesome.
It's a trio. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. We'll.
Unless the men are touching.
You know what? How do we go from here to there? How did this happen?
It's me. I just wanted to say that I miss you. Got to thinking yesterday, ran across one of our old pictures. I almost tried to call. Obviously, it didn't.
Yeah, I gave my heart, you lied. Supposed to be right here by my side. You convinced me with them lies. Told me how you was gon' ride. And you would never leave my side. But times got hard, then you ran away. Sad to say you left my heart so traumatized. Like I just seen a homicide. But life goes on, had to move on for the better. Yeah, I know you hate to see me doing better. Had you jealous when you see me with my new bitch doing some new shit. Like, why you got me out here looking stupid and so foolish? I ain't got time for these games, no, no. And I ain't got time for the reminiscing, cause we didn't have the same intentions. Guess you ain't get it, too busy stuck in your feels. You ain't care about how I was feeling, fuck how you feeling. Bitch, you tripping, talking about how shit would be different between me and you. But ain't no difference, cause you never ever listened. Thought I cheated with them bitches, couldn't blame me for assuming. Supposed to be right here, supposed to be right here with me. Could be right here with me, supposed to be right here with me. Could be right here with me, supposed to be right here with me. Yeah, I gave my heart, you lied. Supposed to be right here by my side. You convinced me with them lies. Telling me how you was gon' ride. And you would never leave my side. But times got hard, then you ran away. Sad to say you left my heart so traumatized. Like I just seen a homicide, but life goes on.
Had to move on, cause all I could feel was all this pain. All that shit you done to me, so I won't be the same. I caught you cheating, you begged and pleaded, didn't mean a thing. I took you back, you did it again, man, I should be ashamed. Feeling like my life sucks, I knew this was a dirty game. But can't complain, I had a hunch, I should've took the hint. Tired of your lies, enough of that, I had to up and split. I know you hate it when you see me with another bitch. We doing things that make you jealous, make you throw a fit. You in the past, I moved on, no need for me to reminisce. I got a new chick, yeah, she with me and she down to ride. Bonnie and Clyde, and you know it ain't no switching sides. This could be us, but this what happens when you telling lies.
Yeah, I gave my heart, you lied. Supposed to be right here by my side. You convinced me with them lies. Telling me how you was gon' ride. And you would never leave my side. But times got hard, then you ran away. Sad to say you left my heart so traumatized. Like I just seen a homicide, but life goes on.
Pop up. You are more than welcome. Okay, we're back because we were getting a little bit crazy.
So who was that artist that was just playing?
That was Warfare J. That was Warfare J and my man Jill. They've been putting out a lot of work.
What?
Huh?
What are you talking about whipped cream for?
Shout out to the Real McCoy. Yo, get you a bottle of the Real McCoy rum.
And shout out to Terramana.
Oh, Terramana.
What?
The Rock is in the building.
So definitely shout out to both of them. You gotta get some Uncle Nearest back in here.
I'm glad we had a chance to shut down that Will Smith conversation. Like, so now that the After Bar Radio has talked about it, it's officially
done.
Like this the second week we going into it now. Everybody talk like they was playing it on CNN and Fox News.
I mean, wrestling. Like that Monday, wrestling reports have reported it. There's a game that was on the WhatsApp that someone shared with me, slapping Chris Rock.
They fast with it.
I mean, it's just, it's one of those things where.
Y'all think it's gonna be around for like some years? Y'all
think
we're gonna be talking about this next year?
Yeah, they always gonna be talking about it. No, real talk.
It's gonna be a meme, but it's gonna dissipate. You know, it's gonna be the next. Somebody gonna do something
else. Yeah,
and they gonna be talking about.
But
you know what I was
it's
thinking
not
about?
gonna be the forefront of the conversation, but they've both been attached to this incident.
Yeah.
I mean, the Oscars have been attached to this incident.
The thing about this is right now, it's tainted. It's tainted his win.
Definitely that.
And it's hurting future projects.
Yep. Because they put some of his future projects on hold already.
But CP3, here's the funny thing. The people you know who benefit from this though?
The Oscars. Oscars. The
That
White Academy.
Oscar and Chris Rock has benefited.
Yeah, because his concerts are sold out.
Now.
Yeah, they were already.
He was selling out though.
No, they were sold.
But
No,
now
as soon as this
now the ticket
happened.
prices went up. But they
Yeah.
said on this tour that so far he hasn't talked to. He said he had still processing it.
Right, but
his
people
brother went ham about
their
it.
tickets. They buying their
said
tickets
that.
because they want to hear
But
what he got to say.
He wrote the stuff
So-
months ago for this. So
Right.
that's not even
So-
anything in.
So the thing
that's
about,
not dumb.
But as time goes on, he may talk about it.
but the thing about it,
He
is
said
that
he's still processing.
I think he knew he was wrong for his part in it. I don't think nobody's right in this situation.
Yeah.
I agree.
Honestly, it's a joke. I'm sorry.
It's a
But-
joke.
I can't get past that. It's a joke.
But it's a joke. But if it's offensive and it's hurtful, it's still offensive and hurtful. Just because it's a joke doesn't mean that you can't have the repercussions.
Yeah, you can have repercussions, but just because someone says something you don't like,
Yeah, you shouldn't slap him. You're right.
yeah, like in my years, you know how many times they said stuff to me that they wanted me to do that, and if I did, I was going to jail. I was going to lose my pension, lose everything. So if somebody saying words to you, somebody saying something that you don't like, worth you risking your livelihood and your freedom because they said something you didn't like because you were having I understand. I've been there on a bad day. But I've cussed the motherfucker out. I've never put hands on them unless they put hands on me first.
But CP3, there's a lot of people in jail that disagree with what you're saying. There's a lot of
But
people.
that's the problem. They
that-
in jail.
But that's how they ended up in there because they chose
to put hands on.
Yeah.
But you're right. There are a lot of people who don't care. They're like, whatever. I'm gonna do it regardless.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. I had a personal situation right before the Oscars. Okay, that family situation. I'm not gonna put no names in there, but family situation where one person slapped another person. Okay, a man slapping another man. Unfortunately, it was in public. It was in front of a lot of people, and charges have been pressed on the person that was the aggressor. I spoke to the person that was the aggressor before they knew the charges were going to be filed, and I said, you have to understand that you're going by the code that of the streets that you grew up in. Everybody not from there.
Yeah.
And because of that, they're going to put you in jail.
I mean, I always got tons of stories, so it's always a situation that, in my early 20s, I did a lot of reckless stuff. And I remember it was me, God bless my cousin John Brown, rest his soul, Jason. John was part of we were from New York, so we call each other cousins. And then he had his actual biological cousin, Jason, there. And a dude was like, I don't know if he was playing or I don't know if he was trying to be a thug. He looked at Jason and he said, "Give me your coat." And the minute he said that, I'm like, yo, he didn't give you nothing. And I really went off on him. And I was just like, yo. It's funny because I did say I would slap the shit out you. Because I was like, I ain't going to punch you, I'll slap you. Because I knew how, when you slap a dude, you basically what you saying. And I was, and at that time, like, dude is looking at me like, yo, dog, why are you going off on me like that? And honestly, I'm trying to bait him. I'm like, yo, give me your coat. I'm like, Joe, I promise you I'm going to whip your ass out here right now just for you acting that way. And I could have been wrong. They could, as I look at the situation 20 years later, he might have been playing. At that particular time, I just thought he was just being disrespectful and I was just trying to fuck him up, to be honest with you. And in retrospect, as I think about that, I didn't know their relationship. They made a joke like that.
Ironically, I was in a similar situation, but I actually did put hands on him because we was at the bar.
You don't say.
Yeah, I mean,
you put hands on somebody?
Yeah, I mean,
shocking.
I have a lot of female friends that are lesbians, so we go out to the bars.
Really?
Yeah, and they start interacting with a young lady, and sometimes some dudes get upset about that. So I always sit back in the cut, and you know, I'm used to doing security, so I just sit back in the cut to make sure everything cool. Because you always got that one dude that's going to try to see how far it can go. Some of my folks is talking to this little chick at the bar, and I can see the hating dude's eyes just standing there beaming on him. So I'm just peeping the game, and you know, I'm just making my way slowly up, and just in case he trying something, because I see he trying to talk to the chick. She shut him down, but she giving my folks all the rhythm. I'm like, okay. I just go post up. And this dude I don't know if he go to grab her or do something, but I knew something was going to happen that shouldn't happen, and I swung on him, caught him, and knocked him out. But not saying that that's right, but I saw what was about to happen.
Really?
I'm a preventive maintenance type of dude.
He's the maintenance man now.
Preventive maintenance, this is what we call it.
If I can prevent some bullshit from happening before it happens, I don't have a problem doing that.
So what about slapping? What is that considered?
I mean, I've slapped a motherfucker before. That's because I knew he was a bitch. And it wasn't even worth me punching.
So sorry. You don't see that situation?
No, I told you, I understand it. As I said, I understand it. I'm not condoning it, but I understand it. Because I've done that same thing before, and it wasn't overprotecting the women just because I didn't like the motherfucker.
See, that's even worse.
So that's why I understand.
So I don't know.
Coming from.
So y'all watched Wild 'N Out before, right?
I've seen that show before. Yeah.
So there's a battle rapper on there, Hitman Holla. And I remember because Thomas said something about battle rap. He just brought this up. So there's a battle rapper on there, and there was a point in his career, I think it was Hitman Holla, where a dude did something to him on stage, and he like slapped the shit out of him, or he hit him. I think it was Hitman Holla.
That was on the URL joint?
I think so. I think it was it Hitman Holla?
It's been a couple of them. It's not a lot, but it's been a few. Was that the one where he's something like, you styling on me or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's a couple people got, you know.
Cruel Intentions or Black Scorp. If you listening, was that Hitman Holla that punched the battle rapper, that punched the other battle rapper? But in that thing, like, it's meant to be offensive.
Right.
Like, you really gotta have, like, you know, tough skin to be in that, because they talk about your mama, your kids.
Maybe all of it, your face.
Yeah.
They practice in your face.
See, and here's my thing. In that situation, when you talk about people signing up for stuff, I feel like that is a time where you sign up for it. If you go on Wild 'N Out and you know that this is the atmosphere, that's what you're signing up for.
True.
Sitting at the Oscars, and some people are like, well, why did he sit in the front row? First of all, the Academy sat him in the front row.
Yeah, they have assigned seating.
The Academy sat him in the front row. It's not like, oh, Will's like, I request to sit in the front row. No, you're up for Best Actor.
Yeah, you got it.
They're going to sit you on the front.
And you want the visual of Will Smith sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
That's what they did. So I don't feel like in this situation, Will and Jada signed up for it. But I'm going to say this, and this is where I feel like Will and Jada exercise restraint. And they have to, and we do have to keep in mind, always, and this is everybody, just because he is famous doesn't mean he doesn't have feelings.
Yes.
Okay? So Laverne Cox, well-known African-American transgender woman who's an actress, was on the red carpet. Will was up for an award. This wasn't the Oscars. This was a award show beforehand. And on the red carpet, she's interviewing Will and Jada. And he's there to celebrate his award. And Laverne says, oh, okay, yeah, lots going on with you guys. And she mentions entanglements. First of all, that's old news to them.
Yeah.
It's even old news to us. Will and Jada clearly was displeased about that comment. So therefore, they were, you could tell they were irritated. No slapping of Laverne.
I'd have been, oh, you slapped a transgender actress? Oh, Lord.
Right.
Um,
Right. But
So
that is exercising restraint.
true.
Why he didn't have that same energy for Chris, we don't know.
We don't.
The history, of course.
Right, because like I said, Chris has done. Now
So-
that this is out, they've dug into the crates. Chris has targeted their entire family
Yeah.
numerous times.
So real quick, Black Squirrel Thomas was like, Hitman knocked. Yeah, he knocked the dude out. He knocked the dude out in the barbershop after his battle, but never on stage. Math Hoffa, that's who I believe you talking about. Stole a nigga and Good stole a nigga on stage. And Murder Mook got it popping on stage too.
See?
So and these are all bad. And Murder Mook is a good battle rapper, but I've seen Murder
And
Mook
these
say
are people who signed up for it.
yes.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is I've seen Murder Mook say things to people that I be like, yo, I'd have to fuck this dude up in real life.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. So I'm not condoning Will. Because, like I said, in my own personal life, the slapper, I have confronted the slapper and like, hey, you got to get your emotions in check.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we grown and you have a certain status. This is what I'm telling someone what we compared to Will Smith as an everyday average American. And I said this, so I would feel the same way about Will.
Definitely.
I definitely feel like Will, at his age, his status, the image that he puts out, his career, you don't want to do something like this. Even, I'm going to be real with you. I feel like it would have been better if Will would have caught Chris at his car and slapped him. However, that still would have been bad because you still, you struck a man and you can still get arrested. However,
You about to get back in the rap. You need to make a bridge back in the rap.
I don't want him to do that. I'm going to be real with you. Will is a better artist. Actor.
Actress. No. See.
Shade.
I didn't.
Jay's about to come in here.
I wish she would.
What you call her?
I wish she would. But at the end of the day, he's a better actor than he is an artist. He was fresh and new when we had him as a rapper, but that's like real talk. I hate getting jiggy with
it was just when he got older, it wasn't that, but like. He pioneered a lot of stuff. He's the first rapper to get a Grammy.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like when parents just don't understand, it's corny now, but when that came out, I was just
he made happy rap. And I'm giving him credit for that. He was fresh, he was new, we needed that at that time. However,
and get jiggy with it.
That time is gone.
Right, get jiggy with
it.
But hold on. With that, let's be real. Did y'all see the footage of the after party?
When he was partying?
With the Oscar in hand, partying and getting jiggy with it, and not a care in the world.
Yeah, because, to a certain extent.
I slapped this man in public. I'm getting
Nobody's
jiggy with
gonna
it.
press
I won my Oscar. He was.
So,
it's disrespectful, though.
But let's talk about... Let's talk about the repercussions of this stuff now. Yes. Because one, people are going to tune into the Oscars next year for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, 100%.
And they're using that.
Messed up Will Packer.
It messed up Will Smith and Will Packer.
Yeah. Everybody named Will.
Will Downing.
Oh no, Will Downing! I love him.
Like the Source Award.
Yeah, I mean 99 Source Awards to be exact.
And it's just it's devalued him. Shout out to Triple H. Triple H is coming back from a heart attack.
Did you see my face? I was like, who?
And he's starting up night 2 of WrestleMania.
Wow.
A lot of screaming and straining on there. You better be careful.
You better be careful. But I think he's giving his retirement speech. That's what Thomas said. He can't. He has a pacemaker. He can't wrestle.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But a lot of the repercussions is that it's devalued him as an actor. It's devalued. They put the boots in the ring. Yeah, he's retired. It devalued a whole bunch of business. A lot of people have looked up to Will Smith.
Right.
And they can't
and now they can't look at him the same.
Right, because he always pimp slapping people.
Like I said, Netflix is paused the project they was working on with him.
It's a couple of things.
Overbook Productions, which is his company and stuff. People will look at that name funny now. And
like the Weinstein Company.
Yeah.
But not as bad as it, but
nothing as bad as like the Weinstein Company.
But yeah, the thing that bothers me the most about it is the impact that it has, like Lady Antoinette was saying, on us as a whole, because it's people looking at it like, see, honey, I told you, even the good ones are smacking people in the face. I told you, none of them are in it, Exactly. It's so tough.
You and CP3 are terrible.
Using that tone, that word. But then you over here using that accent. I can't stand neither one of y'all right now.
And then you're sitting in between both of them.
I'm looking this way, and I'm like, oh.
But yeah, and that's what I used to say that about like Ratchet TV. How it's like it's tough because it's like it's people at home, and I actually worked with a young lady.
Speaking of Ratchet,
that would say stuff like out of the way and be like, well, that's because I've seen the shows and stuff, and I know how they think and stuff. Like, whoa.
What's that? No, we don't think that.
We're not a monolith.
We're about to lose CP3. RK Bro is on. We're about to lose CP3.
Yeah, I got some breaking Ratchet news. It just came
that's not Ratchet. It's Black Hollywood news. Thank you.
Apparently, Monique and.
We're gonna talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, though.
Monique and Lee Daniels have made amends after years-long feud. Quote, "I'm so sorry for hurting you." I don't know who said that, but
Lee Daniels. Yeah.
Yes, because he is a character.
They both are characters.
Well, he's a character on many aspects.
Yeah.
Which is why I can't. No, I was going to say.
Didn't he owe 50 Cent some money or something?
No, not 50 Cent.
No. He owed Dame Dash. He on Dame Dash. Dame Dash ran up on him. Everybody thought he was crazy.
Right. They was trying to say no.
Yeah, it was Dame
he didn't. Lee was putting out this little storyline like he crazy. No, baby. You owed him money.
So the thing about and I'm glad they made up, but at the same time, I remember the movie Precious is based on a book called Push.
Mm-hmm.
An artist. The author was Sapphire. I read the book many moons ago before Great Easy Read, back when we had Books A Million and they had a black section. We ain't got that shit no more. Now you just got all your shit off of Amazon.
Right.
Who is known for being in the bookstore.
Yes. But it was a great read, and I remember it. And I still have it somewhere. I think one of my sisters stole it from me. Either my sister, but it became the movie Precious. And Push it's really graphic in Push too. But it was a great read. There's no defense to what Lee Daniels did, a blackballing her. However, Monique wasn't an angel either, and she did have her diva ways. She didn't want to promo for this particular movie that she knew that she was guaranteed to win an Oscar. And here's the thing. It's another negative black stereotypical role that they seem to give us Oscars for. They don't give us Oscars for the strong heroines. But hey,
like look at Monster Ball. I was really upset about that.
Yeah,
that was and then she had to get fucked by Billy Bob.
Speak on it.
And Billy Bob didn't hit it right.
Of course he did.
They said they really did it though.
He wanted some French fried potatoes.
It was terrible because it's a white man sexing a black lady whose husband just died. Was on death row. Who he was the warden of.
Oh yeah, Diddy was the husband.
Yeah. Diddy acting.
Anyway, that's all that was. But yeah,
Diddy acting skills was garbage. However, if you see Diddy and Get Him to the Greek, he's on point because he's playing himself.
Yeah.
But
that's the only role he can play.
It's himself.
But Monster Ball, hot garbage.
Yeah.
I ain't said that movie got anything outside of. The only thing I watched it after the Halle Berry section, I turned it off.
It's like he is really hitting that thing.
Real
and I'm not joking.
That scene was rather
hard to watch.
It was, and it wasn't good.
What, the sex scene?
Yeah.
You said it was hard to watch?
Because it was bland.
Well, anytime Halle Berry,
I mean, it was good to see Halle Berry,
First
but
of all,
you know.
let me be real with you. As beautiful as she is, she ugly in all her movies.
Well, and I mean, if it calls for it, like, yeah, she's been.
She be looking
but
so
you gotta
and she's
take
the
it,
worst
like,
mother
actors, you gotta take it to
in Academy history.
If you want to play,
Oh, because she's losing Isaiah, she gave her
all
the baby.
all the babies, all the babies.
you want somebody that look pretty but play a terrible mom, call Halle Berry.
Right. And that's every single time. She's always a terrible. Remember that she always loses her babies. They got kidnapped and all kinds of stuff. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But that is funny.
Matt Damon. Go to space with Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon to get you killed in space.
Oh man.
That's true. And she was in space too.
Oh man.
In Moonfall, she was in space.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
And she directed that movie.
Oh, it just came out recently, didn't it? I haven't seen it yet.
I saw it.
It's been a terrible show. No, I'm sorry.
Can I add some zero gravity? Does it still make a sound?
Can you really? That's what you think about.
Can you,
that
can you
is
get
one
jiggy
of
with
the
it?
highest questions I've ever heard, and you know what I mean by high.
Just saying. I was just thinking about it. You talking about space and Halle Berry. I was like, did you smack ass? Does it make a sound in zero gravity?
You know what? You got problems.
But
yes.
Important question. We need to find out the answer.
You want to go in space?
Well, we can call
I
it
really
the space
hope-
station. And see, somebody's hitting something in the space station that they can send us back an answer.
They're going to hang up on you.
You know what?
Oh, no. That is the image that's now in my head.
Run.
Watch out.
That is so disgusting.
I didn't hear what he said. I don't even want to know.
Oh, my God.
busted out his face. You know where it runs.
Did you hear him say, watch out? Ew.
Because we're just going to keep going across. Projectile.
You really got problems, dude.
I'm just saying.
While we're talking about people needing therapy.
So as we're talking about ludicrous and crazy things.
Aww.
So I'm glad y'all sitting down for when I'm about to tell you this shit. Man gets 90 COVID-19 shots to sell forged vaccine passes.
Oh, yeah.
A 60-year-old man allegedly had himself vaccinated against COVID-19 dozens of times in Germany in order to sell forged vaccine cards with real vaccine batch numbers to people not wanting to get vaccinated themselves.
So you just gonna let them inject you with these vaccines?
That's
He got 90. Man gets 90 COVID-19 shots.
He finna be a super villain. He gonna come out with powers and
He gonna have 3 eyes, 8 arms.
He's like, I gotta come up for y'all.
Real talk, the scientific community needs to just take him on in.
Yeah, find out what happened.
What the hell would make you be like, yo?
Money.
I need
money make people do some crazy things.
Let me get 19 of these mugs. Like, no.
Let's see what happens.
Ew.
That's
Right?
wild.
What could? Because my thing is, what if you don't leave? You're not gonna enjoy the money you made off of.
He's 60.
Probably grew a second dick or something.
Okay, even at 60, you got people that are living to 120.
He's not gonna be one of them.
And clearly,
He's not gonna be
well,
one
he
of them.
might be. We don't know.
They gotta make this money now.
Did he get different vaccines each time? Did
Hope
he
he
get
ain't
the
go.
same one?
I hope he didn't get.
No.
I hope he didn't get 60 of the Johnson and Johnson. That's probably the equal. That's probably if he had 90 Johnson and Johnson. That's probably one. That's probably equal to 1 dose of the good shit.
That's actually equal to the coronavirus. He has it now.
He is the coronavirus.
He is the coronavirus. Don't let that nigga cough when you gone.
Got COVID-17.
What?
You got COVID-38.
I was about to say like 20, but
Yeah,
he
it was
went
19.
the wrong
Yeah, I
way.
went the wrong way. I was thinking 16. 19, but anyway.
Man, that's crazy. That's
But
crazy.
can I ask y'all a question though? So,
Yes, you can, Super
So
Dave.
in Will's speech, and like I know we trying to just get off that topic, but in his speech he said, "Love make you do some crazy things."
Mm-hmm.
So, Lady Antoinette, what's the craziest thing you did for love?
Ooh.
In the name of
Oh. Woo! This is a hot seat, and I'm glad he started with Lady Antoinette. 'Cause I
Right.
got to
You
ask you.
already know. So I have done some. I don't want to say crazy. They were just stupid.
Yeah.
So, no, I stabbed him because of. The
Wait.
opposite of
It's
love,
supposed to wait. You supposed to say no. I didn't stab anyone. You said no. I stabbed
I'm
him
in the police
because.
department already.
Oh, okay, it's already okay.
Yeah, I'm alright.
I'm just making sure. I'm
That
trying
was
to look out for
self-defense,
you.
boo.
There you go.
I'm good. It is something. I ain't claim nothing.
He put the quotation marks.
Okay, I ain't claiming that. That's what it was. Okay, but the stupidest thing, because I can't even say the out of love and the craziest thing. The stupidest thing, because love makes you do the stupid things. That's really what he meant to say. I feel. Was I got married after 4 months of knowing the guy.
That wasn't love. That was he put that thing down on you.
No, I think it was like the Moet. I think it was the Moet that he poured on me.
Poured on you?
You know what? There's so much more layers to this story.
We're gonna have to tell that story later. But that's the greatest thing. You got married too soon.
Yeah, I would never in my life do that.
And
again.
so I always say the important thing about the things that we do, like either when we're younger or in the midst of in your moment or whatever the case may be. The important thing is to learn a lesson from it. So what was the lesson that you learned from
I
it?
will never do that again.
Even if it's to never do that again, take something away from it. I always say.
I never will do that again. You need to know the person.
Is there any amount of time though? Because I know my homeboy talked to a girl for 3 years, and he said as soon as they got married, she flip flopped on him. She changed.
So that's why you kind of it's not necessarily an amount of time. It's just you do have to allow some time to get to know the person. And sometimes in 3 years you don't really know them. That's in that situation, yeah.
She hit it well.
So sometimes because I feel, no shade to your friend, but I feel in 3 years you've gotten an indication, you've gotten those red
it was
flags.
Something he saw, yeah.
Right, but that's what love does to you. It makes you ignore the red flags.
Yo, that love is blind. Like all the old sayings that we used to hear. And
It's
think
real.
It's
real. Love is it's not blind. It's stupid. It makes you stupid.
So stupid there. Let's put you on the hot
right.
Like,
put me on the hot spot. Let's what about you?
So what is the stupidest thing you did in the name of love?
I mean, like just stupid stuff. Like, I can't even think of nothing specific.
You can.
Yeah, so I knew I was dating a young lady, and she was still dealing with her ex, and so I found out about it, and so I knew he was at her house, so I took all her stuff and put it outside of the door, but like arranged it all outside of the door, so when they opened the door, they would just see it, and she would know. And she was like, they were scared, they didn't want to leave it because they didn't know if I was out there waiting or what it was. That wasn't really there. I'm trying to think of something really like stupid that I did, but I've
done even stupid outside of the 4 months thing. I done did worse than that. So you gotta come better. Come on now.
She's trying to get in deep now.
Yeah, I am.
I mean, and see, but it wasn't necessarily
Don't
like
stutter.
love as much. Nah.
Right?
Like I haven't
really
your
line,
and see, like as a dude, I think all the guys can, can understand this. It wasn't really as much love as chasing some ass, like trying to get something. I've done stupid stuff.
So, but you still love something. It might not be
something
her,
like, I almost got killed in Philly for some trying to get some.
Was it man?
I was messing with a girl, and I knew she had a dude or whatever.
Did you not watch the beginning of the Fresh Prince?
This was back in.
You see when he was in West Philadelphia, born and raised. Do you not know the lyrics?
But nah, yeah. So, but yeah, that was the dude came over and tried to kill me. Yeah. And but I found out, I learned something about myself that day. Like you don't know like how you react if a gun. Well, not just that, but you don't know how you react when the gun is pointed at you. And I wasn't like I ain't punk out though. I was just like I was. There
was a gun involved.
Yeah.
You said he almost got killed.
Yeah. So I was
and that's the stupid thing. Dude was stupid too, cause real talk, she gonna do that regardless.
Yeah. She gonna do what she wanna do.
Right.
But yeah, so she was so basically real quick, I went to visit her. I came from DC. I was on my way to New York. This is when I used to rap, and we've been talking. So I'm like, man, let me go see what's going on. Lucy had to do it and all that. So I go do that at work. So we in there talking, and she get on the phone, and it's the dude or whatever. And she go in the bathroom. She talking. She come back out or whatever, and she like, he's on his way. I'm like,
nah, he was already.
Yeah, he might. I don't know. But anyway, so she was like, yeah, he's on his way. I'm like, all right, well, we just friends. We ain't doing nothing. Just, you know, we just. She's like, you don't understand. He crazy. So you know, as a dude, I swear, like, nigga, I'm crazy too. I don't care. No. So she had a little. Her son was like 2. No, it was her daughter was like 2, maybe almost 2. So anyway, set the baby on the couch next to me.
Wait, the baby was there with you?
The baby was there. Set the baby on the couch next to me. She goes outside of the door. They're in an apartment where it's like it's like her door, it's another apartment, another one, and then the front door. And so she goes out, closes the door behind her. I hear him come in. They arguing.
He was already there when he said that.
Apparently, yeah. So I hear them arguing or whatever, and then I heard like a thump, like it was too loud to be playing or whatever. So I'm like, I'm looking at the baby looking at me. I'm like, one of us
baby trying to tell you he crazy.
I'm like, one of us need to go check this out. So I put the baby on the floor. I was like, let me know what happened. No, I didn't. So I go to the door, and when she went out, she had locked the door behind her. I guess so he couldn't get in because apparently she knew he was crazy.
Right.
So I unlocked the door and I opened it, and I'm about to say like what's going on or something, but before I could say anything, the dude pushed me. And so now I'm a thinker, right? So
a thinker. Okay.
Yeah. So he pushed me. So I'm like, this is my first time meeting this gentleman, and he has, you know, I'm obviously going to have to engage in fisticuffs because he has assaulted me. So I stepped back to swing, and she had her the carrier for the baby right by the door. I stepped into the carrier, and I fall. Right. So now I'm thinking, I'm obviously going to have to engage in fisticuffs with this gentleman. Getting up off the floor is not the best way to begin this process. So I started to get up, and he jumped on top of me, and I thought he had his knuckle in my chin right here, so I slapped it away, and I saw it was a gun. And then I was like, okay, so this is not the best situation for me.
It's not.
Probably gonna, and like in that moment, I'm thinking, you know, I'm like, okay, he gonna pull the trigger now, like I'm down, now, it's not now, and it ain't never happened. So she jumped on his back, he fell. We all got up, and then he got up and he pointed the gun at me. And he's like, "Who the fuck is you?" I'm like,
"Yeah, he's crazy."
Man, I'm out of here. Just grabbed my baby and walked out the door. He was from Philly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that's a DC thing too. First, ask questions later.
Yeah, but I guess
I found out from some tri-state people that that's what we know.
I was lucky. Yeah, he wasn't one of those people because he decided to find out who I was first.
That's nice.
But yeah, so I probably shouldn't have been there in the first place because I knew she was. So yeah, that's probably the dumbest thing I did. But
it's a good news. CP3.
Yeah.
RK Bro won.
Yeah, they got the WrestleMania going on over here.
Oh,
and
here.
Dude just flew. But damn. Talk about my
man, Randy Orton.
I like Randy.
But alright, so that was my crazy thing for love story. What's up? Who's next? CP3?
CP3, what's your crazy thing?
What's the craziest thing you done did for love?
You're going to say something absolutely outrageous.
For love?
Yes. Or for the love of something.
Or for the love of pussy, whatever.
I wasn't gonna say money.
Craziest thing.
He's trying to he got an index.
Yeah, I got to think craziest thing.
Yeah, and nothing like nothing incriminating.
So you want me to go?
Yeah, you go ahead. I got to think.
Yeah, you gotta think of something. So I had nothing really too crazy. I think the wildest thing is I had a girl that we was just chilling and stuff, and then her baby father came. Like while we was chilling in the crib, it was a crib I used to go over all the time too, and we was just chilling and we was talking and like she was like, "Oh my God," and I was like, "What?" She was like, "My baby father on the way over here." So I'm one of those people. I'm so nonchalant about shit. I was like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna leave." She's like, "What?" I'm just gonna leave. So I actually just got up and left. And I was walking down the steps. He was walking up, and he had no idea who I looked like. I knew it had to be her baby father because he was headed to the same direction I just came from.
Mm-hmm.
And he just had.
And she told you he was coming.
That ain't even the wildest. I think the wildest joint is there was a chick, and it wasn't love. It was more sex. It was an ex-girlfriend who I used to hit all the time, and when I was going over there after work, she had a boyfriend, and when I was coming after work to hit the joint, her boyfriend just happened to be there that day. And I was like, oh, you got company. And I left. And then she called me 10 minutes later, and she kicked him out, and I went over and hit it.
Yeah.
You know, things you do in your 20s.
That's the craziest thing I did was with the married chick.
In the church, you sinner.
I told you it was adjacent to the church. It was church adjacent.
You said it was the school that was run by the church, right?
It was church adjacent.
But it was a school run by the church.
And it only happened twice in the parking lot, Jamie. The rest of the time
Only
it happened-
twice.
Yeah, only twice.
And the parking lot of the school that's run by the church, which is actually church property.
Lady Antoinette,
Well,
he got real aggressive about that.
church adjacent. So,
He can raise his voice and everything.
We had a Christmas party for our old job, and they got us hotel rooms for the night.
Yes,
so
which they always did every year, and you decided to be ratchet.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
yeah, I brought the young lady with me. She spent the night with me, and I dropped her off at her mother-in-law's house the next day.
So you had an affair. Or was it an entanglement?
Well, he
I'm not
didn't
sure.
have an affair. The married woman had the affair.
But
He
the
just
thing
got
was,
some.
she called me when the husband was right there. So I mean, I don't know what to do with that.
All right, August.
Ooh, he did a nice belly to belly, over the head, belly to belly. Rich Holland, take notes.
Oh, I thought
That's
he
what
was
it
on
felt like. Right, that's what I was
nice
like.
belly to belly. All right.
Yeah,
That's what he did. He did a belly to
Because
belly.
normally I don't
Was
do
she?
the married
Wasn't she
woman.
pregnant?
That was when we hooked back up after her husband found the picture of my dick in her phone.
So that might not have been the worst.
But that was we stopped, after he found the picture of my dick in her phone.
And what was your reply to him when he called you?
He never called me. He ain't want that word.
What was your reply to
That
him
was
when you
another
texted?
person. That was another person.
Yeah, when she told me, I was like, oh, okay. She's like, well,
Didn't you didn't tell her husband that?
No, that was another person.
Oh, that
You
was
mixed it
somebody.
up.
Oh, that was
See?
somebody else.
Ah.
Right.
I mean, so many terrible CP3 stories.
Technically they were separated, so that's different.
But you
It's
told
not
that
my
man-
fault.
But then you don't think that's stupid? Was that in the running when you were thinking of crazy?
But that's
or
not.
stupid things
It's
you
not
did?
my fault. He hacked her Facebook.
But you
inbox.
told that man that your kids called me dad and your wife called me daddy.
He called me a nigger.
So you responded.
Your kids call me
kids
daddy.
And wife called me
Because
daddy.
I go for the judge. I know what's going to hurt you to your core, to your soul. So I'm going to push that button.
Okay, Will Smith.
Yeah, I guess I'm
The other situation was August because they was like.
But I'm not going to put hands on you. I'm going to make you look.
So
at
what she call you, Will August?
I'm just saying, I'm not gonna put hands on you. I'm gonna make you start crying by yourself when you look yourself in the mirror and cry yourself to sleep at night. So I mean,
You're a terrible person, CP3.
I've tried to tell people this. It's a daily struggle.
Well,
for
when
me to
you
be a
tell
good
you
man.
no, I'm reformed.
Because I'm trying to be a good man, but when you tell people that, they take my kindness for weakness, and then I have to show them that you fuck with the wrong one, and then I'm the crazy one.
You are crazy.
But that I'm not trying to put that out there.
I don't know. She kind of. You heard like the twins in her voice. She said it like she kind of like crazy though. That's what it sounded like.
Is she got something in her too?
You sound like she was like you. The
I'm
way
only
she said
crazy
that
when
was like.
provoked.
Me too.
Like you kind of into the crazy a little bit, ain't you? Like
No.
no.
I like the complete opposite. I've done crazy and he had to be cut. So
He had to be cut.
yes, had to be.
There's no other
No other option.
besides you chose the violence was the.
No, he chose violence. I chose to cut him. I ended the violence.
You
well,
chose
then that
violence
makes
on that day.
Exactly. See, there you go.
See, now I got a.
See, you was ready to prejudge
Of
me
the story.
because
No.
because
I was getting the
CP3
whole
like you
picture
gonna
of the
cut him.
story.
Oh, I had reason. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Once you get the whole story, I know it
Yeah.
comes into view.
Yeah. I mean,
Super Dave, I really love the Ghostbuster shirt, Super Dave.
Oh, thank you.
That's
I
my
do what I
shirt.
can.
That's my joint. That was my joint.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters is my joint.
Yes.
Who you gonna call?
I just seen the new joint. It wasn't that bad either.
I went to sleep on it, but
Wow.
It wasn't terrible. Like, you know, I
wasn't terrible, but it
From the
wasn't
80s.
exciting neither.
yeah, from the 80s and the
It's
90s
not
when the
going
first
to
two
be
came
the
out.
same.
It's never gonna be the same.
Can't hold
Yeah.
up to, the classics. But, you know,
I
they
mean,
make it-
wait. Which new one did you see? You
oh,
saw?
no, not the girls one.
You didn't see
That
the girl?
joint was-
I heard the girls one was terrible.
It was some garbage that people, when people start making the argument, you're just mad about it because it's girls and stuff. I was like, this must
No, it was
be
just
bad
terrible.
if they pull up the girl card on it, but it was just terrible.
I really want
didn't have a desire
to.
to
So I really want to see Morbius though, but I've heard some bad reviews about it.
Gonna be all right. Oh, really?
My daughter went to
Yeah.
go see it. She said it was okay. That was it.
I mean, it's Sony, so I don't expect much. It's gonna have. I love quoting Black GOP. It's gonna be. It's probably well. It's better than it's better than a DC movie. That's what he's always said. That's how we judge movies.
Yeah.
We be like, or it'd be like, oh, it's good for a DC movie.
Right.
Like the new Batman was good for a DC movie.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, you
Yeah,
said
I
the
still
new
haven't seen
Batman
it yet.
was good for a DC movie?
Yeah.
I've actually heard the opposite. I heard it was still trash.
No, it was actually good. It showed Batman being
I
a.
haven't seen it yet, so I can't say.
So, but it's more of a drama than an action
Yeah,
movie.
people look for that action, but this one's
And
supposed to be more of a detective movie.
They show him doing detective shit.
Well, like I said before, I said when I saw who they chose, I was like, this is not going to be action packed.
Yeah, it was okay.
I mean, no shade.
It was 30 minutes too long.
No shade, but he was the Diamond D vampire before.
Yeah, you know.
What I mean?
I still want to see Blade. I still want to see Blade versus Twilight.
He looks like my bottle.
It's glittery.
I want to see Blade versus Twilight. That should be the end all movie.
No, that's going to be
Go through slicing everybody.
He's going to kill everybody.
That's what I want.
Well, actually, did y'all see? I posted a picture of Wesley at the Oscars.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. That outfit was terrible.
My folks was like, is he sick? Is he all right?
Yeah, people were asking that question, but then a couple of my friends said he looked like a California raisin.
He looked worse than that. He looked like Pond Scum. That joint was terrible.
Not a California
I was just
raisin,
confused about the outfit. I
You
didn't want
know,
to judge
celebrities
him.
make decisions to try to, especially somebody like
He was
Wesley.
thinking outside the box.
Yeah, and trying to
He
get his
had the
name
little-
out.
Outside what, the raisin box?
Yes, he had the little burgundy leggings on, the little.
He looked sick.
The little shorts and then the little flap in the front. My daughter said, okay, so from the waist up, he looked like a normal person. I don't know what's going on after that.
He looked sick.
By the way, my daughter snuck in the sound. I forgot to tell you guys. And she told me to tell everyone hi.
Tell her I said hi.
What's good?
Yeah, so she snuck into town.
I saw. We heard you were ignoring Texas earlier today.
You got the gold French yet?
She better than that. She do. Like, she has
She
a couple
isn't
of tattoos.
She's an adult. She can get gold fronts.
But I'm going to knock them right out of her mouth.
Wow.
You know, violence is never the answer. Didn't Will Smith teach us that?
He ain't knocked no teeth out. He ain't do it right. I'm joking. I do not condone.
Should Chris have had hit him back?
No.
I mean, real talk, if it were me and somebody slapped me,
And then turn around.
I
and
would
they
have
just finna walk
slapped
away.
them back. Because guess what? Everybody's watching, so they clearly see it would have been self-defense. You would not have gotten in trouble.
But here's the thing about that situation is, the hardest thing to do is to show restraint.
You're right, and I don't have that.
In a situation where somebody is pressing your buttons to the extreme.
So I do commend him for that.
And so, and I say that because I remember when I was in my 20s, me and my girlfriend was arguing, and she slapped the hell out of me. And I was just like, yo! And I just looked at her, I was like, get out. And I kicked her out, and then when we had the conversation, I was just like, you get one. You used your one. Don't ever put your hands on me again, because you wouldn't want me to do the same to you.
Right.
Hey, don't you remember when I beat the shit out your little brother? You don't want that.
I'm gonna be real with you. I have never, outside of like my mom or dad or something like that, been struck by somebody and not retaliated.
Yeah, it's hard.
I've never, and for you to
Not even
slap
CP3?
me.
No, I'm just playing.
CP3 ain't lay her hand on me.
I'm just joking.
Cause I'm gonna tell you.
I don't believe in violence.
If especially if it's a man. So, but I mean, I'm a woman, so I can't compare necessarily. I can only compare by saying if a woman were to come up to me and slap me. But I can tell you that Chris Rock has way more maturity than me.
Yeah.
I will give him that because because not only did he just take it to the chin, right? He took it, right? And then he made a joke of it.
Yeah.
And then continued on.
Yeah.
With presenting.
Even in the face of, but I mean, they was like, yeah, I had to keep going when he was yelling, but comedians, man, you get heckled all the
But
time.
no, and then he said, but he was like, okay, and I won't.
And that shows you that would have been sufficient if he'd have just said, "Hey, chill."
But now I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like Chris said, "Okay, I won't," because he got slapped.
Yeah.
Who's to
know.
say
I
that
feel
he
like
wouldn't have kept going?
They both been like, we friends, and like I was part of the argument. Like,
They
how do
not
you
really
know Chris
friends.
even knew that she
Then
had
they not
alopecia and all that?
Yeah.
So you give him like who Steve Harvey was saying, give him the opportunity to correct. Like, say to him, this is the situation,
right?
And you need to. And I feel like
first of all,
would have been like,
so here's my
bad.
thing. With that said, I sat up here and said that Chris has been honing in on them for years. We've seen that on film. Now the responsibility of Will Smith, if Chris has continued to do this, and you feel like he is, going in on your family. Number one, if Chris has an issue with Will, and that's the reason why he's doing it instead of confronting Will, I feel like that would be immature.
Yeah.
However, if Will has issue with what Chris is saying, he should have said something.
He should have checked him a while ago.
Right. So both of them have connections and they have access to each other.
Definitely, and 100%.
So either way, if before the Oscars, if one had issue with the other, it should have been addressed a long time ago. And that's where I feel like, you know what, if it's deeper than what we saw, y'all should have handled this.
Sure.
I got a different, just got a piece of information from my good folks, Alicia just sent me, about Zoe Kravitz chiming in on the whole Will Smith situation and condemning him for his actions, the assault on Chris Rock. But then now it's some of the past comments she made about Jaden Smith when she was 24 and he was 14, having a pedophilia tone to it. So all of a sudden we're getting some other undertones getting thrown into it.
I'm glad
people love to speak openly about their family.
And I'm glad you brought something up like that. Jim Curry.
Yeah,
Jim Curry. You were invited to the cookout wearing living color. Outside of that, shut the fuck up.
I actually agree with what he said.
Yeah, what did he say? I didn't hear all of it.
I don't.
Will can get sued. That's what happens. See, here's the thing. I don't condone Will. I understand you mad. And I understand this man made you mad in all aspects. But at the end of the day, when you put your hands on somebody, you can get, whether we agree or not, you can get arrested. You can get sued. All kinds of stuff.
Well, my whole thing about that is that he made the statement after they both had apologized. They both said they weren't going to sue, but he just wants to.
Well, somebody asked his opinion about it.
Yeah, somebody asked his opinion, but Chris has been saying, I'm still processing. Chris can still press charges.
Yeah.
Chris can still sue.
But they both have apologized. So I'm just assuming that he wasn't going to.
I don't think he's going to.
Because if you were, you wouldn't.
No, but
so I just think that
even do that.
I just think for Jim Curry, he should just shut the fuck up.
And I'm a fan of Jim Curry, but I hear what you're saying. I felt like all the celebrities that just ran to social media immediately after, because
well, no, I thought Jim was being interviewed.
Yeah, he was, and they asked him about it.
Right, so we can't fault Jim for answering a question, and he was being honest. If it were me, I would sue. Just like we're sitting here talking, if it were me and somebody walked up to me and slapped me, I don't think I would have that energy to not restrain myself. I can't. I can't say you struck me. Now I can strike you legally.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't.
Hey, I didn't say that. But if the person is larger than me and can overpower me and I fear for my life, I can, retaliate with deadly force. But that's another story.
I mean, once again, I still think Jim Curry annoys the fuck out of me because he's a walking contradiction.
I mean,
that's just how I feel.
Neither here nor there.
But that's how I feel about when I hear a person who I know contradicts himself say the same thing.
Well, I mean, like I said about Chris, I don't like Chris either.
Yeah.
But in this situation, I feel like he should not have been struck.
Yeah. Oh shit, he suplexed that big motherfucker.
So I think that the joke is corny and it was tasteless, but
it was amusing.
I feel like
Will
it was
Smith thought it was funny.
Yeah, it was a mute. It was an
But
amusement show.
did he really though? Because real
He
talk,
gained a Hollywood laugh.
I've seen him do those nervous laughs before. Like when he was on the Red Table Talk and they were talking about August, he laughed the whole show.
I don't know.
And we know he did not find that funny.
But his face was he was
Right.
crying.
But at the same time, he knew what was
Yeah,
going
Bobby
to happen when he went into that show.
I'm happy Bobby Lashley just won.
Playing George
Quick
Carlin.
WrestleMania update.
If you can't take a joke from a comedian, stay your ass the fuck home. I'm sorry.
But no, but I don't have to.
Everybody is
I don't.
and they crack jokes on
But
everybody.
CP3, it don't matter. To me, I feel like this. I didn't come to get cracked on, and if he wants to tell a joke about me, my natural reaction is if my natural reaction is to punch you in your mouth, then because you're talking about me,
But it's funny
that's my
that
natural
CP3
reaction.
said this because in 2016 he wasn't there. Jada wasn't there, and Chris still cracked jokes on him. So what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean that's 2016. We're talking about now.
But
I'm
you're
they're
saying
carrying
if
over
you
grudges
don't like it, you don't want to be cracked, you don't want people to crack jokes on you.
But
at
you
the end
know
of the
that's
day,
what happens when comedians get on.
I mean,
it isn't like
but
this
being-
is unheard
but I'm
of.
just saying,
But
This
being-
isn't like this hasn't ever happened
but what
before.
I'm saying
But being a
Somebody
comedian,
got cracked on.
You
This
can't
has
say
happened
they can't
before.
come.
but
No, I'm
CP3,
not saying they can't come, but you
But-
know if you're in the limelight, you're going to take the good with the bad.
but
That's your
and so
job.
do
But-
comedians.
but-
So I understand.
Comedians know that. That's their
But
exactly, but their
CP3
job is to push the envelope. Their job is to push the limits of society to get people out of their comfort zone to make them look at things differently.
at the stake of other people.
That's comedy. I'm sorry. It's like prostitution. It's the longest profession, but it still goes
but
on.
but you
What
but
are we doing
You know,
CP3,
back in the day, when
CP3,
but
that's
hold on.
comedy is not. I'm sorry, say it.
Go ahead.
But that's comedy is not a reason. Like if I come there just because of the show and I want to be entertained, I'm not coming to be part of the show.
Really
Period.
said G.I. Jane 2. And like he said, you bald-headed hoe. He
But-
made a
He
reference to
ain't say none
G.I.
of that.
Jane
He said
2.
G.I.
But
Something amusing. Ain't nice saying you got alopecia.
Yeah, that's
You're
a-
less of a woman. You can't satisfy.
Right, and
But
He
you might-
said, looking forward to
But you
G.I.
might-
Jane 2.
But you might as well have said those things because that's how she feels.
But
hold
then
on.
you can't come out on social media and say you're strong
Let me
and proud
say
about
this.
it. Say you're still sensitive about it and you don't like to be talked about. Then he wouldn't have said the joke. But
He
when
would have
you come
said the
on
joke
social media
anyway.
and
He
say,
would have said the joke anyway.
Then he would deserve to get smacked.
He would have
Because
said.
he knew,
said-
because
but she
he knew
said
that
that.
hurt her feelings.
But
no,
she said
but
that.
you can't. No, but you can't come out and say how proud you are of it, and you're going to tout it because you want to get more
So
knowledge
he
known about
paid
it.
attention to one post but not the other?
So people make people about the, like Donald Trump made Trump about the dudes with disability. Did anybody smack him?
Well,
No,
they should have.
but they didn't because they were civilized white folks that know that that's assault. Not a niggerish black person that's getting portrayed on national television and smacking another black man and leading
So-
to the
so hold on,
black
let's-
on black
Mm.
crime
Hold on,
bullshit.
let's back up. Let me say this. You said this is the longest profession. One of my friends just said to me today that, yes, comedy is the longest profession. You look at the court gestures, right? You know what happened to the court gestures when they offended people?
They didn't offend the king.
Wait,
Anybody else is fair game.
But he's there at the Oscars for playing the king.
But he wasn't the king.
King Richard.
Clearly
He
was.
is someone in the
That's right.
audience who is fair game for
Listen,
a comedian that
when
makes
they weren't
fun of
funny,
people.
when they weren't funny, or they offended
Off with their head.
The king.
The king.
Not the people in the audience.
or
The king.
anyone in the family, which at the end of the day, Will was looked at as the king of the night. He won the Oscar. Like he won.
And then how many times have the Oscar winners still got made fun about
Yeah,
getting
they
on it?
could,
With-
Right.
with-
But
so
what
it
I'm
makes
saying
no
is-
difference
What
if
I'm
it's him or
saying
anybody
is, what I'm
else.
saying is, way back in the day, you're saying this is the longest profession. Way back in the day, if you offended the king, his guest, or you weren't funny, you got killed.
That was
Yeah.
funny because everybody laughed. I laughed.
First of all, and let's be real, at the Oscars, people who tell jokes at the Oscars, they're not always funny, and people all laugh.
That joke was funny.
I didn't
I don't
think
give
so.
a fuck.
I didn't think it was funny.
That joke was funny.
It wasn't.
Even Chris said it wasn't even the
You
It
know,
was-
people, do you know?
It was in
people
bad
think that-
taste in my
Hold on.
opinion.
It
Chris
was,
has
it was
been
an
called-
amusing joke.
Chris has been called the C word that I don't really want to state right now, many times. Now, when you see a bald-headed black woman nowadays, what's your first thought?
Cancer.
Well,
So
I
he
think
made
she
jokes
cut her
at
hair.
cancer.
I
But
think-
if she did it on purpose,
It's
if you don't feel like it's
Yeah,
cancer,
it's
which
fashion.
is not a joke, I don't feel like that's funny. But if it's not cancer, So let's be real. If Chris didn't know she had alopecia, then why do you think she had a bald head? And you chose to keep crack jokes. First of all, anybody who writes their jokes for the Oscars, not only are you writing it beforehand, but you also have to run it through the Academy. So nobody knew that this woman not only had alopecia, but she also has publicly said, regardless of what she said 4 days ago, she has publicly said that she has self-esteem issues. Okay? So let's, with that in mind, you chose to still do it, right?
So you're saying both sides of it. She's saying she's had self-esteem, and then she says she's.
I don't believe that she's proud of it.
She posted it 4 days before the damn Oscars.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think she's proud of it, but that's my opinion.
But
hold on.
That's like saying I can swim and you throw me in the pool and I drown.
Because you said that you thought it was funny. In recent times, when you see a black woman with a bald head, do you immediately think G.I. Jane? Or do you think Wakanda or something like that?
You think Wakanda?
Yeah, that's why he wasn't.
That's what made it a fucking
joke. But for me, I feel like because I'm letting you know, people are picking apart this joke.
Yeah,
and they're calling him this C word. Hold on. They're calling him this C word because many times he shades the black people and praises the white. They were like, he didn't even say this like a Wakanda joke. He said G.I. Jane. Like they're going in on Chris.
So how
like that's so he's
reverse racist because he chose a white movie.
Right. I think they just.
Whoever's upset about that, this is from CP3 personally. Eat a bag of baby dicks, all right?
But here's they're nitpicking.
But yeah, they're gonna pick
But at the end of the day, Chris keeps putting himself in these situations where people are calling him this.
They could call him.
It bothers me. I don't like Chris.
Yeah, they say that about Kevin Hart. They said it about
When they say Kevin Hart is like selling out, but they don't go in on Chris the way that they do because Chris. He shucks and jives. Like, be real with you.
I mean, I don't think so. I feel like
Chris Rock has never shucked and jived.
When
he was on Saturday Night Live, he had to. But once he got on his own, stand and did his own stand-up, he had to shuck and jive to get on.
And that's because they said.
But you just say he never shucked and jived.
He had to get his name though. But once he got his name out there, he was his own man.
Lady
Angela,
Angela,
shit for nobody but himself.
My friend Fema said, she said thank you. She was loving your point.
Oh, thank you.
It's sad that you can criticize your own race and then you're a coon because you're pointing out some of the hypocrisies that us as black people don't want to address and want to blame the white man or the community.
So he goes in front of a lot of white audiences and bashes.
It's his fault who buys his tickets because black people don't relate to him. They remember him as Pookie instead of a stand-up comedian. Right. That's his fault because white people buy shit.
You know he was doing stand-up before he was Pookie.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But you know
now because white folks watch him and black folks don't, and he's a coon now. Get the fuck.
I'm just saying.
Clarence Thomas is a coon.
Well,
Chris Rock is not a coon.
Well, but hold on, Clarence. Who said Clarence Thomas wasn't?
I'm just saying
that. He's showing that like a real this is what like a picture of. If you look up coon in the dictionary, it's a picture.
Yeah, because he points out some of the shit that we don't talk about, and he still addresses the racism in the system. Isn't like he whitewashes over like America's the greatest place. And that I watched plenty of his specials where he addressed the racism and the bullshit in the country, but he also isn't afraid to shine a light on the shit that we don't, the stuff that we talk about, mental health issues. We got dumb motherfuckers in the hood that know we need to be in therapy, but because black people are saying you shouldn't, that's the white people.
Yeah, but at the same time,
they out here doing atrocities that they
don't. To therapy, unfortunately.
It's social services. I know people don't like it.
They don't have access to therapists.
I got help through social services, even when I wasn't working.
Guess what? A lot of people on Medicaid, because Medicaid, I used to do their billing. It's difficult to get all therapy listed under Medicaid.
All therapy, yeah. You can get some, because I was on Medicaid when I got
so, like I said, it's difficult.
Some folks, but some folks have to want help. If they don't want help, then sometimes there's nothing you can do. That's why I say it's survival of the fittest. That's why I say with all of this technology and safe stuff that we have, some folks don't belong to be here. Some folks, if you want to do 100 miles an hour after going to the bar and drinking 6 shots, An airbag and a seatbelt shouldn't save you when you crash into a brick wall.
You know what?
Maybe
you just really went top.
I'm just
Where
saying.
did this come from?
Because we become a soft society saying that they get offended because your feelings get hurt.
But dog,
but yet still you got people doing dumb shit every day.
CP3. It's a contradiction when you say we become a soft society, but then you get back and the motherfucker got slapped.
I'm not mad because I'm just saying because of words. Like I said, if he knew that she was sensitive about that and he chose to do that, yeah, you deserve to get your ass smacked. But being the fact that he was telling a joke and didn't have, then she puts out a post 4 days before saying she's proud of it, but before she's saying that she's whatever. So how was he supposed to know that? Okay, one day she's feeling great about it, one day she's not.
One hand, you
she's
just said
bipolar
that they
now?
was friends. You just said that.
No, I'm not saying they was. No, they had a few. No, he said that. I didn't say nobody being friends. My point is, when you're putting out mixed signals for your so-called community or for your IG pub, and somebody you say, okay, you're proud of it, then okay, I don't see nothing wrong with making this statement. And it wasn't even a fucking statement. It was a reference to a movie that was a great movie, but everybody remember because Demi Moore shaved her head. So now because they related that to that.
But Demi Moore, but also if when people break down that joke, it's like, well, Demi Moore also was fucking with a younger dude, and her entanglement with Ashton Kutcher.
Now, see, if you're looking at the 60s,
I don't think so. But this is how people look at it at all the aspects of it.
She shaved her head for the military.
I know.
That if you wanna break down the joke, you break down the joke as is. G.I. Jane shaved her head for the military. Jada Pinkett Smith shaved her head because she has an autoimmune disease.
Yes.
That's two different things.
But this is how people look at it. This is how people trying to break it down.
And they're at a movie awards ceremony, and he mentioned a movie and can't wait to see G. I mean, it's
she's not really in it. It's ugly.
I'm just saying, but it's that's what I'm saying. We're making so much out of this because it's comedy. When have we become such a soft ass society that we can't make a joke about a movie at a movie award ceremony because someone happens to be
about the movie.
that have
make a joke about her bald head.
Yeah, but he did. It could have been somebody else bald in the motherfucking joint, but then because her and their history, it could have been 3 other bald-headed women in the audience, and they didn't get offended. But because she did, it's an issue.
If Jada Pinkett Smith was bald because she had cancer, would have been okay.
It's a joke. I don't give a fuck.
But
I see shit all the time. But
her husband did.
And that's cool. You can get offended. You can get up and walk out. You can get butthurt. You can take them to the side and say, "Hey, sir, I don't appreciate." You can take them off camera and smack them, but not on camera.
Yeah, I agree
not
with
in front of the
part.
whole world. But there are different ways to handle. But first of all, you should not put hands on anybody for anything they fucking say. If you do, listen. This is my fucking quote. You're a fool and a tool for your whole fucking existence. If you allow somebody to push your buttons and to take you out your comfort zone and to get you to get an assault charge. So if you see me in the street and you got a problem with what I said, come put hands on me and see what the fuck happens. Point blank. You can't let nobody push your fucking buttons by fucking words. I do it every day. And I wish a motherfucker would put their hands on me because I do it as when I'm provoked. So therefore, if I say words to you that you don't like, it's because you asked for it. And then you want to put hands on me? Trust me, I don't fight clean.
He done went and got personal.
Because it goes on so much of a deeper level than just somebody saying something that offended somebody.
Right.
These are fucking words.
Right.
I had people talking shit to me my whole life. If I'd have put hands on every one of them, I would probably not be here right now.
Have you ever?
Yes, I had. And I regretted some situations when I had.
So here's the thing. If you've done it, you can say, "Oh, I don't condone it," but you can't go in that hard if you've done it yourself.
Because I'm trying to fix the errors that I made because I was lucky enough that I didn't.
That man older than you.
But I'm speaking to the younger generation that are.
Oh my God, you called Will Smith the N-word.
But I'm speaking to this.
I feel so dirty.
I'm speaking to this society that feels it's justified if somebody says something wrong to you to put your hands on it.
Right. It's
now
not justified.
by seeing this, now it's like it validates it to them. That's why I'm trying to get through their heads that, yeah, he didn't press charges. Right. Yeah, he didn't slip and fall and hurt himself, and it could have got worse than that. But you are an average you are an average person. If somebody on the street says something you don't like and you feel disrespected, first of all, if you give them that power to you that you feel disrespected because of the words they say, you're a fucking fool. You need to look yourself in the fucking mirror and realize who the fuck you are. Because if you allow somebody to say words to you to make you put hands on them, and then 9 times out of 10 the person that said this is going to press charges.
Right.
Just because they're going to be a dickhead to prove a point. Now you've ruined your fucking life or put a big monkey wrench in it because somebody said something you didn't like. Just think about that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
They said something.
Yeah, it's immature.
You didn't like.
It's elementary school playground.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
You
Just
said
think
something
about
I didn't
it.
like, so I'm gonna slap you.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. You cannot allow people to do that. I had someone do that to me.
What,
And
slap
luckily,
you?
no, push my buttons because they knew they could.
Oh, and then you hit him.
No, luckily it was.
Why are you trying to get this man to confess to assault charges on air?
Trust me, I'm cleared. My statute of limitations over. See,
that's alcohol abuse.
She smacked.
I thought you said that was water in there. Why is
it's clear?
Why is it burning?
Why is it coming off of that? Why is it little vapors coming off of that?
Somebody give me a match.
That ain't water.
It is water.
But that's just my thing. I had someone to teach me a lesson in my younger days because I used to let him push because he knew how to push my buttons. And luckily it was somebody that was a friend that put me to the side and said, you know everything I'm saying is bullshit, but the only reason I'm saying it is I know it gets under your skin.
Nice.
And from that point in my life, I learned that you can't allow people to push your buttons because they know they can, they will.
What just happened? He got so soft and sweet.
Because it all comes together. You got to put the rage with the understanding. You know what I'm saying? I do things for a reason. As a matter of fact, my man.
Oh, normally it's not. Sorry.
Sometimes it's hit or miss.
I understand. I spilled my
alcohol.
It's all you spilled all of it?
No, it's a little bit.
You know that's an 80 ounce.
But it wasn't full. I just knocked it over. It was a little bit. And it was. You're a hater.
She had the power with 240s.
It is a hater. I feel like when I came in with my mug, you guys were hating.
I heard Lil Wayne.
He said that's an 80 ounce.
You're a hater.
That's a joke. Do you want to cut him? You feel like you want to cut him?
Cut the top on it for right now.
You feel like you want to cut CP3 now?
No. Because he said something mean to me.
Yes.
I got 2 cameras on her. Fuck that.
I don't do that.
I'm a sue.
I don't do that. I don't have no money.
You would sue Lady Antoinette?
I like that nice Acura. I like that nice Acura outside.
You gonna sue her for her watches?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she got more watches than
I borrowed them. They're not mine.
They ain't your name. That's right. You got mine in your name too.
Ooh.
I want reimbursement on all that.
What you mean reimbursement?
I'm gonna find a charge.
A charge?
I want
So you trying to scheme me out?
What?
Did you just say $120,000
$120,000
for some watches?
I settled out of court right now.
For 4 watches. You see this? This is
inflation.
This is abusive behavior.
Happened to a lot of inflation.
All right. Let's get ready to end the show. It's been 3 hours.
Oh, that's so
we
good.
rarely play.
Quick, right?
The funny thing is we only played like two music songs on the show. Well, 3 videos today. But the conversation was that interesting that I really wanted to get it out. So I don't mind because it's one of those things. It's like, yo, this is a great topic to talk about. A lot of people, had their different take. And like I said, one thing is I love the fact that everybody has a different opinion of it.
Right. No doubt. But I will say that we all agree that Will Smith should not have smacked that man.
That's right. He should have uppercutted him.
Even if you caught him at his car after the show, I would have preferred that. And did whatever you had to do, but I feel like it set us back by slapping that man on.
I feel he should have DDT'd him.
I just feel like you're never gonna see another nigga hosting the Oscars.
Yeah, no, not.
But he wasn't hosting.
He wasn't hosting.
That's the thing. It was Wanda. It was actually all women. Wanda Sykes. Who else was it?
It was Regina Hall, Wanda Sykes.
Shout out to Regina Hall. She from DC.
And then Amy Schumer, who should never host anything.
Oh.
Amy Schumer.
So was Taraji.
Oh yeah. Oh, for real?
I wonder why.
And maybe because you're more angry than her.
Back in the day.
You sure you didn't hit that? She was at Howard.
She had a son. She's a single mom. Do you know anything about that? Just a son.
I think he had bad feet.
I hope so. Holler at me. I'll take the test.
Why do you just look so disgusted?
Because I am.
I mean, she was a motherfucker.
What you got going on tomorrow, CP3?
We have the season 7 premiere of Sports on the Hill podcast coming to you live around 9 p.m.
Right.
Thank you.
Season 7.
Yeah, we took the last 2 weeks off, so we got a lot to cover with the Caps recap. Get ready for the playoffs in a few weeks. Going to break down the upcoming baseball season starting on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Also want to cover the NBA and the March Madness with the finals coming up. Robbie G, I believe, predicted the final. You know, I didn't get into the tournament pool this year, but, you know, apparently he's done very well. I need to go to Vegas or something. I need to make it come up. If you're looking for a newer used vehicle, make sure you come down to Waldorf Honda, 2450 Crane Highway. Come holler at your boy. Get that deal done. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, man. Give me a shot. Let me see if I can make it work for you. You can check out the website, sportsothp.com for all of our content. Apparel line, you catch the hoodies. Weather about to change. You got t-shirts, you got towels, beach towels. You
got beach towels? Are you fancy now?
Yeah, beach towels and everything, baby. Go to the beach representing Sports OTHP, baby. That's what we do.
He's just trying to get Sports on the Hill like wrapped around a half-naked girl.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what he wants.
Yeah, send pictures.
That's what he wants.
Send pictures for promotion.
Uh-huh. I bet.
Yeah, for
I do like commercial.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure you check us out tomorrow night around 9 o'clock. We'll be having our pre-draft free agency special, probably maybe around the 3rd week of the month of the draft coming at the end of the month. I know I said we was going to do it during our break, but I lost track of the draft. It was at the beginning of the month. Forgot it's at the end. So we'll be doing that with Dujanay. He always hits the SEC down in that territory, goes to the North-South game. So we're going to look at the top prospects, see what the Washington Commanders going to do with that 11th pick. They're going to draft, heard they're possibly drafting a big wide receiver, possibly a quarterback, possibly a defensive player, possibly dropping back to acquire more picks and waiting until the 2nd round. I heard they're high on the quarterback from Liberty. I believe his name is Willis or something. You know, I don't follow college. That's why I got Dujanay to follow college. Fuck NCAA. But that's another story for another day. See what else we got going on. Also, we probably have a boxing special coming up soon. We'll coordinate with all the boxing guy. We haven't did one in a while. So get some boxing MMA coverage also. And let's see what else. Yeah, check out the SoundCloud Beats by CP3. We got beats, you know, come holler at your boy. Got the beats for days, soundtracks, R&B, dubstep, whatever you need. You know your boy got it. Holler at me. And I'm out.
What you got, Lady Internet?
Well, so my daughter snuck into town this past week, so I have to shuffle her back to the airport. Thank God I don't have to drive all the way to Florida. But exactly.
I'm ready to get away. Should I?
No, I'm going down there in May, so no time. In no time I'll be down there.
And it'll be in Aruba in June, right?
Yes, I'll be in right outside Orlando, May, Aruba in June, Florida again in July.
All right, we gotta make it to the distillery this year so we can broadcast.
I gotta. And then actually, I'm probably gonna be in Tennessee in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to keep you guys posted because I am planning to go down to Tennessee. There's a lot of distilleries down there I do plan to visit so that I am able to bring back some gifts. Some goodies.
Oh, yeah. No, right. Tennessee.
Right, I'm going down this month. So this is going to be a quick trip. So I'll let you guys know. So that's in the works.
Let me keep on grinding.
So
Get that fat check.
yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I also have a Zoom call with some people within the commander's office. I was there on Friday, so I'll have a Zoom call. So I'll keep you guys posted on what I come up with that. Other than that, I probably will spend my week cursing people out. That's about it.
Okay, well.
Professionally. I'll put that out there.
Super Dave, what you got going on for this week?
No, I'm
You said it all quick, dude.
This well, first of all, man, thank you guys so much for letting me come through and hang out with y'all. I love this show. I love the conversations. It's always fun. I always have a good time with y'all. So thank you sincerely for letting me, live vicariously through y'all because I'm missing, doing my show. But right now, working on some things. Shout out to Melissa Neal. If y'all haven't heard her, check her out, Melissa V. Neal. She's on social media, on all the social media platforms. She got a new song called Better, and that's the video that 151 and I are working on right now. We're about to start shooting hopefully this month and get that out of the way. Working on some more comedy skits. And also 2 other projects with some chefs that I've been working with, trying to get pilots for cooking shows for them done coming up. So, and just trying to stay busy, man. Keep moving, then working the regular 9 to 5. So like the internet, I'll probably be cussing some people out. But unlike her, probably just be in my head though. Like
I've always been in a situation. Put yourself in a situation to do it professionally.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna work on that. We can talk about it. But yeah, that's about it for me, man. Just like I said, glad I had a chance to come hang out with my peoples. I love y'all. I'm so glad that I got to do this.
Yeah, we love you coming through, man. Like I said, anytime you want to come through, it's always good. So shout out to Queen's Mother's restaurant. My cousin Chef Rock is the chef that is the owner of the restaurant. So last night, when I got home, because I was trying to eat a little bit healthy all day, so I had nothing but salads. I was hungry as shit.
Did they have an event this weekend, or is it next weekend?
It might be next weekend, but what I did was I was on DoorDash, and I think it was DoorDash, and I saw Queen's Mother actually, so I ordered from them.
Okay.
And I didn't call him and tell him anything, but he sent me the chicken and waffles. Them chicken strips was big as shit, amazing. And then when he saw it was me, he also sent a chicken sandwich and 2 drinks, and he was just like, "Yo," he was like, "Thank you for he was like, thanks for ordering." He was like, "And if you're not my cousin, then you have a really cool name."
Right. I think he understood that it was you.
So, but I say this to say this: support don't mean free.
Right.
So, if you have a man that has a clothing shop or if they're selling something, support is not give me a free bottle of like Lady Antoinette sells wine. It's not give me a free bottle of wine. No, motherfucker, buy the wine.
Right.
Like that's really support. So people, when we do these shows, like when like Dave can tell you, when we do these shows and we're selling tickets for artists and stuff like that, and the artist is performing, y'all, you don't ask for discounts with Gucci. You don't ask for discounts with Jordans. You don't ask for discounts with Louis. But when a starving artist comes, you ask for a discount. A starving designer comes, you ask for a discount.
Right.
Y'all get offended if they don't offer you the highest price thing at these other stores, but yet when we ask for $20 or $10, well, damn, you ain't Gucci, man. You like, but then you're like,
Gucci. Let me get to that point.
Yeah, and I bought tickets for artists. I remember when shout out to our man G George. I remember George had an event where Main Girl was opening up for some major artists. I forgot the major artist. Tiana Taylor, whatever her name is. Tiana Taylor, whatever. And I remember I couldn't go to the event because I had to work. But I just bought a ticket. He was like, "Yo, man, but I'm selling the dog. I ain't coming, but here, I'm gonna cash app you the ticket, and you can
give it to whoever.
Give it to whoever. I can't make it because I'm at work. That's support.
Yeah.
So
Well, and sometimes even if you don't have it, share the information.
That's free.
Right.
That's free advertising.
Yeah, that's free.
Help out.
It's crazy because, like I said, I remember I was having a birthday party, and one of my close family members, cousins, and was like, "Well, I gotta go see my man Jeezy tonight, so I can't make it to your birthday." And the sad part was Jeezy don't even know your name.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You just a ticket. You just a number and a ticket sale.
Right. Yeah.
And for me as a black male to have made it this far in life, and I wanted to celebrate my life, and you couldn't even be there for me because you got to see a nigga who don't know your name, I find it baffling. He don't know if you in that seat or not.
Right.
To you, that's your man.
That's what when he first said it, my man Jeezy, huh?
You wrote 38. You wrote 38, Section C. You not even in his. Damn, that's a nice car. You not even in his radar.
But at the end of the day, I look at it like this: I can't tell people how to support me, how to spend their money. However, it lets you in on some things. That's all.
It does.
I can't tell because I've had many birthday parties where people, my family can't come for whatever reason, whether I agree with it or not. So I'm gonna just keep it moving. But sometimes you'll see that people who support you and your family, they're not your blood.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like real talk. I always had there was a kid that supported Renegade, but then I had to explain to him. He was like, yeah, but I support Renegade. How? And he was like, well, I was gonna if you give me the ticket for half price or give me a 2 for 1, I'm supporting him. No, nigga, that's a discount. That's not support.
2 for 1, buy one get one free. We doing a BOGO on tickets? What?
I had to explain the word. That ain't support.
You gotta pay for each ticket.
That ain't support.
There's a fee that has to be paid for each ticket.
Right.
That's what people
a lot
understand.
of I had to teach Renegade too. Was a lot of people that say that they your men's.
No.
They
just
they don't want and I remember this. There was a club one. So we performed one week at Club One. One day it was just a regular show. And one of his mans came through. Shout out to Lante. Good dude. He been knowing him. That's been his best friend. The next day, we performed with Gilly.
Oh, everybody want to show up.
Oh, these niggas want to be in VIP. But they wasn't there the night before when it was just him. And I was like, yo, I want you to remember this. And at first, he was cool with it. His father, my brother, walked in, looked at the shit, and walked out. He said, why my father walk out? I said, because these niggas don't need to be here. Because if they wasn't here the day before, they shouldn't be here now. And then he learned, like, the people that really support with you is the people that grind with you when you ain't got nothing. The people that want to be around you in the limelight, those are the people you want to keep away. Because they're only there for the spotlight. They're only there to benefit themselves and not benefit you. And that's something that as you grow you learn. So, but I say all this long story is just basically I have no problem supporting like real people. Like the sweatsuit I have on now, this is the Eric Kusa sweatsuit. I paid full price for it. For Chef Rock, when I needed something, like there's plenty of times I go to his restaurant and it's a free meal. When last time I went to his restaurant, he wasn't there. I still bought my meal from him. And he was like,
if they choose to give you free stuff,
it's their choice. That's their choice. It shouldn't be the expectation.
And honestly, they're only going to give you free stuff if they're in the position to do so.
Yes.
So sometimes, as a business owner, you can't.
Yes. You
can't afford to give free stuff. You don't know their financial situation.
And here's the thing too. And here's the thing too. It's like what Chef Rock's situation is. He know he can call me and he be like, "Yo, I got something happening. Can you come take pictures?" And I'm gonna take pictures. And I ain't gonna charge him.
Right.
But it's a mutual respect.
Yeah.
However, when he did need me to help set up a podcast for him, even though I told him I'd do it for free, he insisted on paying me, and he did. And he valued my business, and he valued me as a person.
That can mean more than anything,
Yes.
Just saying that somebody value you and believe you enough to pay like what you do to give you what you're asking for, as opposed to expect to get some kind of discount or something.
Right.
Means a lot. It means a lot.
So
goes a long way.
So please, if you know somebody that's taking pictures, if you know an artist, don't devalue them. If you're really going to support them, support them. That's pretty much it. That's my words of wisdom for the night. CP3, you look like you're looking at porn on your phone. He said that. Yeah.
I regret every time I look over at his phone.
Don't be looking over here.
You're right.
Why? Somebody sent them a pic?
No, it's just like I'll always see him looking at women.
Oh, he's looking at.
I like women. What's wrong with
And
that?
then but like I look at your phone and it's always he's hearting somebody's stuff.
Ooh.
Okay, he's
Ooh.
support.
Ooh.
Support.
Yeah. Trying to see if I get somebody sliding my
And then he swipe. What is it? Swipe right or swipe left? I don't know these things. I be saying that too. I see him swiping.
You swipe left on somebody, CP3?
I don't even know what does it mean when you swipe left. That's bad.
You don't want that.
Oh, so swipe right is good.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I was on POF one day and I was swiping everybody, and I don't know what kind of way I was.
Plentyoffish.com.
It was the worst experience ever.
I used to work with a girl that was on Plenty of Fish, white girl, and she was
that was the worst.
Every time she'd be like, I think I found the guy that's gonna be the guy, and then the next day she'd be like, we went on a date,
and he's crazy.
No, she'd be like, we went on a date and we had sex, but I think that's all he wanted.
What?
Was
I mean,
he took me out for drinks.
And guess what you did? You gave him exactly what he wanted.
First of all,
and now he doesn't call me anymore.
the name of the site is Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of fish.
I had the opposite. I had a chick got mad because I didn't try to get the cheeks.
From POF though? Okay, that's what we talking.
I ain't never had no luck on
out of these streets.
POF, I have had the craziest of crazy reach out to me.
I've never done a dating site.
No, there's no reason.
That's because you're in a relationship.
Right, that's what I'm about to say.
But I mean, even when I wasn't though, like
don't do it ever.
No, that shit was it depends, bro. I had some good experiences off of dating sites, bro.
Okay, what is a dating site to you? Because there's one that's closed down and shut down. People were returning to use it.
You know what? She's talking about Backpage. Anyway, we're gonna end this with Renegade. Get up.
Close it out with Backpage. That's what
Let me use Backpage.
It's Backpage.
If you really think
that boy P, so crazy. No. I was down, now I'm really about to go get up. 10 rounds, now that nigga can't get up. That's what you get when you go fuck with the vision. My money be piling, we don't do division. The feds be watching, I just gotta get up. I was just down, now I'ma get up. Sleeping on me, I bet that they get up. My money was low, but now I'ma get up. Oh, bet that we get up. Pushing this weight, I'm doing sit-ups. I was just dirty, now I got my fit up. Too good for these bitches, I bet they gon' miss us. And I pack a bag if you think that I'm trippin'. I keep this shit brisk, like I'm sit lipped on. Even though niggas don't know what to get on. You ain't shit, so your niggas gon' get on. Get you some pack, go make a flip homes. Yeah, I'm stuck in my bad ways. Niggas always being burnt out, so I dip them all in the ashtray. I don't understand these niggas that just always talking about, yeah, they past ways. I don't understand these bitches always comparing me to they past days. I give a fuck about you, you give a fuck about me. I just be rapping for money, you be rapping for free. Feel like that I rap like a god, the reason they call me a G. I'm against all of these odds. Niggas ain't fucking with me. Never no worries, Hakuna Matata. They say that I'm hot cause the devil with Prada. I'm Soulja Boy first and these niggas gon' follow. Catching no feelings, you catching these hollows. Ride with Rodriguez like I fuck with Rollo. Ain't got no time when I see this Movado. Bet that bitch shine like I'm in Monte Carlo. Looking at me like I done hit the lotto. Counting your last days, get hit up. Talking that trash, hey, on Twitter. Your bitch, she be bad, yeah, I'm with her. When she see me, her face be lit up. Boy, better go ahead and mind your business. I don't go back and forth like tenor. Run this game, I don't get no finna. But we bout to get up. 10 rounds, now that nigga can't get up. That's what you get when you go fuck with the vision. My money be piling, we don't do division. The
Feds be watching, I just gotta get up. I was just down, now I'ma get up. Sleeping on me, I bet that they get up. My money was low, but now I'ma get up. Oh.